sit down at the computer and you stare at the screen, and a year later you stand up. On a girly close-up or something?
Yes.
I didn't know why I needed an Apple II, but I just knew that if I got one, I could make it pay for itself. And I suppose I have. I think, and of course my psychoanalyst has helped us a lot, that Larry is the outside life that I never had. Larry's really big with psychotics and prisoners, and no. There's no limit to the amount of embarrassment that I can put this guy through. As far as I know, I'm the oldest computer game designer in the world. A lot of the characters in Leisure Suit Larry come about because I'm a jazz musician and I play a lot of clubs. And you see all kinds. And it was real fun to base those characters on the people that I have observed working the environment. There's been a running gag with Ken Williams. I needed a drunk to put at the bar, and Larry won, and so I thought, gee, who better than somebody that I know? Ken keeps telling me that the next one could be the last one. In Leisure Suit Larry 3, he was the chief of the native tribe. He was, in that one, he was Chief Kenny Wawa. And he made you prove your manhood by forcing you to write a program in assembly language. What I'd like to see is a game where the player sits down in front of his computer and his video camera captures his face, and we take that face and put it on our characters, and you become the star. Wow! It's a hell of a way for a grown man to make a living, I'll tell you that. I've had a wonderful life. It's a very godlike feeling. No matter what I can dream up, Sierra has the talent and the artist to produce that silly little world and those silly little actions. And the best part is I can make people laugh.
Hello. Welcome, everybody, whoever's here. Hopefully you enjoyed that intro video. Hopefully you're enjoying the dogs barking in the background. Thanks, Star Fox. That's been my logo since I started this. Is this the first time you've been here at the start? Jeez. Yeah, this is my production values at work, man. So today, I've been looking forward to this one. We're talking about Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards. And hopefully this is like okay on Twitch. Hopefully there's not some weird rule where I get banned because I'm playing some like quote-unquote adult game. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. There's nothing really too heinous in this one, so we'll see. So, I'm going to be talking about the original 1987 AGI game and the 256 color remake from 1991 in this episode. I'll talk a little bit about the 2013 HD remake that happened, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. So, before I get started with the game, Leisure Suit Larry is actually a remake. The original Leisure Suit Larry is a remake of a game called Softporn Adventure. And that's a game that came out in 1981 for Apple II and Atari 8-bit. And it's to this day the only pure text adventure that Sierra ever made. I actually should probably dig up the box art here to show you. But this was released back when Sierra was still known as Online Systems, back before they oh, somebody see a dog there? Oh, yep, she's on the couch. This was back before they moved to Oakhurst and changed their name to Sierra Online. And so yeah, this is one of their real early games back in the days of like Mystery House and Wizard and the Princess and Mission Asteroid, all that stuff, the pre-King's Quest days. And it was designed, Softporn Adventure was designed by a guy named Chuck Benton, who was a self-taught programmer. He handled some of the ports of some of Sierra's other games that they published, like Frogger, and I should have written these down. They're not coming to me. He ported a few of Sierra's games to like for other releases that weren't like the main release, but he designed Softporn Adventure. And the box art here, I gotta go find it here. We're gonna get to that image a little bit later, but hang on. I'm gonna show you the box art for Softporn Adventure because it's interesting. Oh my god, my computer's taking far too long to do this. Let's see here. Softporn Adventure. I knew I forgot something. I knew there'd be something I forgot. Okay, so here is the box art for Softporn Adventure, right? That's more of a folder, less of a box, and that's the group of women in that hot tub. The one on the right is Roberta Williams, who was around probably 27, 28 years old at the time, Sierra's co-founder, future King's Quest designer. But this is kind of what they used to sell this game. You know, so even back then, the imagery of like, oh, this is like a real serious adult thing. That was that was something they played up even back here. So, and yeah, that's Roberta Williams now over there. And so they decided to redesign it later, you know, in 1987 when they were looking for new IP and new. It was after their Disney deal had ended. You know, Disney ended their development deal with Sierra, and they were looking to make, you know, some new stuff. That's where Space Quest came from, and eventually Police Quest and Leisure Suit Larry. You know, it was a game where Ken Williams, the president of Sierra, he went, hey, you know, why don't we remake Softporn Adventure? And he tapped Al Lowe to do it, who had worked on Black Cauldron and a bunch of the Sierra educational games, or, well, educational, the Sierra / Disney, like, you know, like Winnie the Pooh and Mickey's Space Adventure, all that. And Al Lowe, as you can see, if you saw that intro video, I mean, he's really just a dorky kind of guy. I mean, he seems like the kind of guy who tells dad jokes, right? He's, you know, he's just like this nerdy programmer. And Al Lowe was, he's a jazz musician. He plays a saxophone. He did all the music for Larry, right? He, before he came to Sierra, he was a high school music teacher. And when the Apple II came out, he convinced his wife that they should spend a combined month of their salaries to buy one, because that's how expensive they were at the time, because he figured he could find some way to make it pay for himself and really, you know, put it to good use. And he taught himself how to program on the Apple II. And his early games that he made himself, he would take to computer shows and he would sell them there. He would, you know, sell games to people via mail order. And he met Ken Williams at one of these conventions. And, you know, Sierra was one of several publishers that offered him contracts. And he figured, well, you know, I like all of Sierra's adventure games. That's where I'm sort of what I based my game design ideas off of. And they were the biggest publisher at the time, and also, you know, the closest to his home. So he decided, that makes sense, I'll sign with them. And so he signed on as a freelance designer. I believe this was 1982. And he was eventually hired full-time and quit his teaching career to become a game designer. And I went over this with the Black Cauldron video, but a bunch of his pre Larry games. He made a game called Dragon's Keep, made a game called Bop-A-Bet, which is a typing game, an adventure game called Troll's Tale. It's similar. Dragon's Keep and Troll's Tale are kind of similar concept. And then, of course, the Disney games, Winnie the Pooh and the 100-Acre Wood, Mickey's Space Adventure, Donald Duck's Playground, and the Black Cauldron. And when he, he was sort of an odd choice, perhaps, given that background, to remake this adult sex comedy. And because he wasn't like a comedian, he'd never written comedy before. That wasn't like, when you look at him now, he has like a daily joke thing that he does on Twitter. Like, he's just like this funny dude, but that was like a new thing to him at the time. And so when he decided to remake it, Sierra decided to remake it, and Lowe, he went home, played Softporn Adventure, and his reaction was, this game is so out of touch, it should be wearing a leisure suit, which was how that kind of started. That's where he kind of got the idea, and he decided that the only way that this remake could work, the only way it could really work for a more modern audience, is if he turned it into a comedy. Because Softporn Adventure was not really a comedy, but he decided that's how he would be able to modernize and actually sell it to people, in stores in 1987. And yes, Rodbot Lowe did try. He put the source code for a bunch of games up on eBay because he had backed up a bunch of the Sierra source code, and he tried to sell it on eBay a while ago, but Activision got after him because technically like they own it because they own all the assets, right, to Sierra. So it's technically not his to sell. So I get it, like that's the way IP works, but So where was I? So Lowe, as he was thinking about this game, decided he needed to, he had to create a protagonist. Softporn Adventure didn't really have a protagonist. It was just sort of you, right? And so he had remembered the comment he made about the leisure suit, and he was also inspired by a coworker on the Sierra sales team who would always brag about all the women he was hooking up with on his sales trips, and everybody would just roll their eyes at him because they're like, what a clod. And that was sort of the inspiration for Larry Laffer, and that's how he came about. And for those of you who don't know, the leisure suit is a piece of 70s fashion that just is very heavily associated with disco culture. April says fashion, right? And it's a two-piece blazer and slacks ensemble, right? It's casual, lightweight, polyester. The jackets had like really wide lapels, and the slacks had bell bottoms. It was very 70s. They are often worn with wide-collared shirts, platform shoes, gold chains, and that brings me back to that image you saw. Hold on, let me turn it off. This image here, this is from Saturday Night Fever, and this is the kind of the iconic image of John Travolta from that movie, and that's the in popular culture, that's kind of the iconic image of the leisure suit. It was a really tacky piece of fashion, and it was a fad that died quickly. But here's for comparison. There's Larry Laffer, and he is straight up just designed to be a parody of that idea, the John Travolta, that character. He's like a terrible failure of version of that character, right? Does Mr. Scott Sr. still own a leisure suit? I don't know if he owns a leisure suit. He was more of a hippie and like biker dude back then. He was cooler than that. So that's what a leisure suit is. Now, you'll see that Mark Crow, Space Quest co-designer Mark Crow, he also had a design credit on Leisure Suit Larry 1, and he was very young at the time. I think like early 20s maybe. He was like super young, and he did Leisure Suit Larry 1's graphics and animations on nights and weekends while he was working on Space Quest with Scott Murphy. And Sierra had offered him a bigger cut of the royalties on Larry if he could finish it quickly, which he did in about a month. As for Al Lowe, he had enormous freedom to put pretty much whatever he wanted in the game. There was no oversight the way that there is with everything today. You know, there's no committee. Sierra played pretty fast and loose with their game designs, and they were just kind of learning as they went. Ken Williams, really, to his credit, you know, he trusted his designers to create their games without a lot of oversight or interference. And Al Lowe, he's always been deeply appreciative of that. And, you know, when you look at some of the weird stuff they turned out, it was really, that was a benefit to them. So Leisure Suit Larry came out in 1987 for the Amiga, Apple II, Apple IIgs, Atari ST, Macintosh, and of course MS-DOS. That's the version we're playing today. And it shipped. When it shipped, Al Lowe immediately started working on Police Quest 1. That's going to be an interesting story for next week, because Police Quest is kind of, in a lot of ways, Sierra's Problem Child series. But Leisure Suit Larry 1 flopped. It completely flopped when it came out. It sold worse than any other product Sierra had ever made. And Al Lowe, he didn't make much money because he didn't take any advances. I believe he's still freelance at the time, but he didn't take an advance, and he agreed to a higher royalty rate. And a lot of stores were skittish about carrying it, and you know, it just, nobody bought it, right? So he figured that's a waste of my time. You know, I just wasted several months of my life. And the thing was, it was heavily pirated. Al Lowe has claimed that at one point they had sold more Leisure Suit Larry 1 hint books than they had actual copies of the game. So it was successful, just not in the way they initially, you know, they had hoped. And it was so heavily pirated that there were some hackers that used it to spread computer viruses to some European banks. And Sierra had to actually issue a statement to clarify that legitimate copies of Leisure Suit Larry were not going to affect your computer with a virus, right? But a funny thing happened after a while. Sales started picking up, and they kept doubling every month. And after about a year, Leisure Suit Larry started cracking top 10 sales charts. So it wound up being very successful for them. And as for the hint books, this was around the time Sierra started offering hint books in there. It was their 1987 catalog, the first time they offered them for order. And speaking of hints, actually, future Sierra producer / designer Josh Mandel, who would go on to ghostwrite a lot of stuff for Sierra games and also designed Freddy Farkas' Frontier Pharmacist. He wrote a walkthrough of Leisure Suit Larry 1 on CompuServe in 1987, which, if you go to GameFAQs right now and look up Leisure Suit Larry 1, you can still read his walkthrough. It's by Jay Mandel on GameFAQs. But that's how he kind of started. He was a beta tester for Sierra, and yeah, so fun trivia there. Now, before I get started, I should probably kind of outline my perspective on the character and the world that he inhabits, because this series, you know, it inspires a lot of different reactions in people, right? And so, you know, and did Sierra ever mention a specific reason for increased sales? Or just word of mouth? Like, that's how it worked back then. You know, we were barely out of the days when games got distributed in, like, plastic baggies. So, yeah, word of mouth spread, and people, yeah, start buying it. But, so this series, in general, I should be upfront, like, I'm a dude. I am, quote-unquote, the target audience for this game. And I have a lot of nostalgia for these games because I played them when I was young. Leisure Larry 2 was the first adventure game and first Sierra game I ever played. So it is a bit hard for me to kind of separate these games from my nostalgia. So, you know, I would maybe probably not feel the same way if I had not played them before. If I were playing for the first time like now, maybe I would feel differently. Obviously, I'm not a woman, so I don't have that perspective on these games. And so I might not have kind of the most worldly perspective. I'm certainly not here to defend them as like bastions of good taste or, you know, female empowerment or anything like that. I'm not here to defend them or tell you like, no, you're wrong. Actually, you know, this is just sort of my going off my history and everything with them. I don't know if this is a game that would get made today. And, you know, no matter what else I say here, at the end of the day, this game is about a womanizing idiot, right? So that should override kind of everything else in your minds, right? So the way you react to that, that's it, a lot of it is very subjective. Now these games have a public perception of being like these filthy, like hardcore, like X-rated, like sex adventures, and it's that reputation is kind of it's gotten away from it. You know, that's that if you've never played the games, that you're like, oh, Larry, that's those porn games, right? Which is totally, as you'll see, that's not the case. They're very tame. There's a lot of innuendo. There's barely any profanity beyond like a hard PG maybe. There's almost no uncensored nudity until like much later in the series. And this game, you could perhaps think of this as like a goofy late night sex comedy on Cinemax in like the 90s, if you're old enough to remember that. But the edited for TV version that would have aired on USA Up All Night, right? Again, if you're old enough to remember that, that's sort of what we're looking at here in game form. And as for like the characters, I mean, none of the characters in the game, certainly not in this one, are especially complicated. They're pretty shallow. They have a pretty basic set of personality traits. I mean, Larry himself has almost none. And, you know, minimal dialogue, right? But the character who's always being laughed at or put into stupid, compromising situations, it's almost always Larry himself. The women, like, I hope you'll notice, you'll mostly agree, the women in this game, they're never ridiculed, they're never shamed or like treated with any kind of contempt or hatred. You know, Larry never gets mad at them or puts up an entitled fuss that they owe him sex or anything like that. You know, in that way, he's a lot better than some people that we see today on social media. This game, it kind of lays its cards out on the table pretty clearly as far as like what everybody's looking for, right? I mean, the level of objectification, obviously, in a game like this is going to vary. And, you know, it's going to strike different people in different ways, like I said. The women in these games, sort of broadly speaking, at least from my perspective, they seem to always be treated as being equal and willing participants of all of the various sexual misadventures that happen. Sometimes they're not especially strongly sketched out, as you'll see, particularly in this game. And sometimes they trick Larry. Sometimes, you know, usually things go in a very unexpected way just for comedic purposes. But the jokes are pretty much always at Larry's expense. He was kind of meant to be laughed at, right? And it's still sort of a wish fulfillment fantasy kind of thing. But the jokes, you know, like I said, they're always at his expense. And he always sort of dusts himself off, gets up, moves on, you know. And the tone is one that generally, it stays on track with kind of just making fun of the protagonist. And there are a few situations and jokes, mostly in the later games, that really don't hold up well and are, in some cases, are actually pretty mean-spirited and would not fly at all today. We'll get to those, but today it's just this game. There are a couple things. There's something in particular later in the game that's like, oh god, they wouldn't do. There's no way they would do this today. That we'll talk about, but these games are a lot. I think as far as public perception versus reality, these games are a lot tamer than people. The popular portrayal of them, I don't know, would suggest. Now I'm going to show you. Let's see. Whoops. No, not that. I want this. Here we go. Here's the manual for Leisure Suit Larry 1. And you can see, you know, I mean, the character just looks ridiculous, right? He's an idiot. He doesn't look like a cool guy. He looks like a guy that's super out of touch, that's what he's supposed to be. I'm going to read you the story here that's in the manual. This is what Larry Laffer used to look like. Pathetic, isn't it? Notice the receding hairline and expanding waist. The cardigan sweater and pocket protector give you a pretty good idea of what is a totally mild and lazy guy. The old Larry Laffer was a confirmed bachelor. At 38 years old, he still lived with his mother, and the idea of asking a woman out was basically terrifying. He felt more comfortable at night curling up with a good book, his favorite Know Your RS-232 serial port, and listening to his record collection, which absolutely reeked of Air Supply and Barry Manilow records. And the RS-232 serial port, for those of you who are too young to remember ports before USB, that was what you plugged your mouse into. Way back. Then one day it hit him. Larry realized that his opportunity to live was passing by faster than an ugly woman on the way to her wedding. All right. So he decided to change. No more Mr. Nice Guy, he shouted. It's time to party. This is the new Larry Laffer. As you can see, very much a parody of that Saturday Night Live image.
Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, did I say Saturday Night Live? I'm sorry, I meant Saturday Night Fever. Underneath all the polyester and gold, he is still the same weenie he always was. But after a credit card blitz at the Night Fever Polyester Plaza, Larry is equipped for a night on the town. Notice the solid white leisure suit, genuine gold lacquer chains, the stepping out elevator shoes, and the Saturday Night Fever style bouffant haircut. Guaranteed to get the chicks by the truckload. A few nights at the Disco on Fire Health Club and Dance Spa has given Larry new confidence, new grace, and a 360-degree move that has to be seen to be believed. Now Larry Laffer has landed and lost wages for one fabulous evening. Watch out, world. Here he comes. And there's all kinds of, you know, how to play, tips for new adventure game players, you know, and so on. There's like some little walkthrough hints here, some plugs for other Sierra games. We have a reference card. Tells you how to play some of the gambling games and how to talk to women. That's kind of funny, I guess. If you're stupid. Yeah. So that's how they present Larry to the player in the instructions. Like he's an idiot. That's all there is to it. Yeah, he's super out of touch. That's the joke of the character. The game Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Don't Dry last year. It has a whole fish out of water time travel plot device where he winds up, you know, out of the 80s and in modern times, being like, what's going on here? But he's always been out of step with the rest of the world. That's the joke. And I should say he's presented as this kind of wannabe Lothario, and there are moments. Well, there's one moment in particular in this game, but there's a few moments where you see that it's more something he's trying to convince himself that he is, rather than what he really is. Because what he's looking for, as much as they sketch it out in these games, which, you know, it could be done a little better, but they try to present the idea that he's actually looking for, like, happiness, emotional fulfillment, and not just random sex. And they explore that a bit more, a lot more in Leisure Suit Larry 2 and 3, which we will get to once again. Oh, hey, one more show and tell thing. Sierra offered a t-shirt in their catalog way back when. Leisure Suit Larry and Land Lounge Lizard t-shirt. I wish I'd ordered one. I bet it would be worth money now. So, let's see. Let's let's jump into the game. That'd be good. Let's actually play a game. How about that? Let's see here. There we go. And as usual, this being an AGI game, I'm going to be using my MIDI patch instead of the internal speaker sounds because it's much more pleasant. So here we go. That's about as much nudity as you get right there. A blow-up doll. You'll see that Chuck Benton is actually credited as a designer because the design hews that closely to Softporn Adventure that they felt it necessary to put his name in the game. And this theme song, Lowe, he wrote the theme song after listening to a birthday tribute on NPR to composer Irving Berlin, who had composed Alexander's Ragtime Band in 1911. And he needed a theme song because the game was going to ship soon, and he was inspired to write something with the same simplicity and kind of sense of humor. And he composed the theme on his piano in about 20 minutes. And of all the theme music in all of Sierra games, I would say its only rival is perhaps Gabriel Knight in terms of what's the most iconic and enduring and really great theme song. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Warning. Leisure Suit Larry, The Land of the Lounge Lizards contains some elements of plot which may not be considered appropriate for some children. How old are you? There we go. I believe same age as Larry in this game. Womp womp.
Yeah, but you're married.
But I'm married. Yeah, that's true. Got my passionate Patty right here. All right. To verify you are really 38, please answer 5 simple questions. Here we go. Let's see how I can do this. President Eisenhower's nickname was Ike, of course. Yes. Got it. And thanks for the follows and subs, everyone. Sergeant Pepper was the leader of the Lonely Hearts Club Band. April would be murdering me if I got that wrong. Who is not a famous musician? Lawrence Welk, Tommy Dorsey, Les Brown, or Steve Garvey? I don't know.
Lawrence Welk and Tommy Dorsey are.
Okay, Les Brown and Steve Garvey. Is that what do I go with?
I don't know. Ask
all right. Well, C has been the answer to the other one so far, so I'm gonna go with C. Uh-oh, I missed it. I missed one. Oops, you blew that one. If you miss another, you can't possibly be 38. Steve Garvey hosts... No, Steve Harvey hosts Family Feud. All right, the most likely place to find virgins is St. Mary's Girls' School. The Virgin Islands, Virginia, St. Mary's Girls' School, or Hollywood? St. Mary's Girls' School. Maybe. C is really working out here for the most part. Who is not a mass murderer? Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy, Jack the Ripper, or Timothy Leary?
Timothy Leary.
Now, wait a minute. Charles Manson is not a mass murderer.
Yeah, Timothy Leary, though, was like a hippie counterculture leader dude.
Yeah, but Charles Manson, he didn't actually do the killing. This is, He was still convicted of the murders. I think that this question is misleading. But, okay, D, Timothy Leary. All right, correct. Oh, one more question. Okay, now for the final question. All right. In Westworld, there's a Westworld question. I've never seen this one. Where nothing can go wrong, guests were entertained by robots, of course. I know this because it's relevant now. All right. I should point out that there is a similar quiz in Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry. But, like, the first question I got was, like, which of these was never a video game magazine? Right, and there was one that was like, who's the protagonist of Metal Gear Solid 2? And it was all relevant. there was a Beavis and Butthead question. It was like all relevant to people who were like my age, right? So I thought that was very funny. All right, thank you. And now slip into your leisure suit and prepare to enter the land of the lounge lizards with Leisure Suit Larry. And hang on, we gotta change our speed. You are outside Lefty's bar. Isn't it wonderful? What can be done with a little neon? Fun fact, there actually is a Lefty's Bar and Grill in Ketchum, Idaho. It's a real place. I'm sure no relation. But there's a Lefty's Bar in the real world. Right? Oh, there's a sign on that utility pole. Taxi stand. And that's how you get around the city. Now, here we have my starting inventory. We have a wallet, pocket lint, breath spray, and a wristwatch. And we're here in Las Vegas. It's like Las Vegas, except, you know, much smaller and not really Las Vegas. And here's a dog that comes and pees on you. Oh, he didn't pee on me. Oh, he usually does. Now, let's go inside Lefty's bar. Alright. This is the sleaziest bar you've ever been in, and you've been in quite a few. Why is your wristwatch in your pocket? I'm sure it's not. It's your carrying wristwatch. It doesn't say it's in my pocket. It's just what I'm carrying on me that is useful. And you can look at your watch and be like, oh, it's 10 a.m. There are some things that are actually triggered by certain, or I'm sorry, 10 p.m. There are certain events in this game that are triggered at certain times, which a lot of people don't even know about. I will get to that later, though. So, what we want to do, you know, there's this door over here. The peephole's locked on the inside. That's pretty weird. Picture, you don't know much about art, but you do know what you like. Ha ha ha. And we want to sit and ask the bartender about drinks. Order drink. You greet the bar. What'll it be? Lefty responds. Whiskey, wine, or beer. I happen to know. Oh. Here's this guy. That's Ken Williams, president and CEO, founder, overlord of Sierra right there next to me, who's saying blah, 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 blah. A lot of guys just leave her hanging in a tree somewhere. Yeah, okay. Har, har. I happen to know that I need to order whiskey. I'll have a glass of your fine, well whiskey, you tell Lefty. That'll be $3, please. You flip $3 onto the counter. You don't drink the whiskey, but instead decide to carry it with you wherever you go, precariously balanced in an open shot glass. Alright, so now we have the whiskey. If you order wine or beer, you just drink them immediately, and those don't help you. You can use the jukebox. You insert $1 into the jukebox and select a suitably sleazy song. And look at that. Can I dance? No, I can't. What a great song. It's the only song the game knows. What's in here? You're in a dimly lit hallway. The paint peeling off the walls gives the cockroaches something to watch. An old table is pushed against the west wall. A filthy drunk sits on the filthy floor, leaning against the filthy wall. So it's a filthy room. Clearly, that's what it's getting at here. And over here on the table, we have a single lovely long-stemmed red rose lying incongruously on the table. Oops. Okay, got the rose. Talk to this guy. Hi, Sonny. How's about you and me having a little drink? We give him the whiskey. And glug, 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 glug. Ah, that did hit the old spot. You know, you must be my only friend in the whole world. So I'm gonna give you my only possessed hiccup. My only possessed hiccup. My only possessed hiccup. My only possession. Hiccup. All I got in the world. What's a guy like me need with a TV remote control? Alright. It's weird. Let's see. We'll open this door here. You're in Lefty's one and only restroom. The stench is overpowering. There's graffiti on the walls, and you doubt that the sink was clean even when it was installed. Even roaches can't survive in this place. Alright. You grab the ancient copy of the Ball Street Journal and settle in to sit and think. Carefully finishing your duties, you wipe and toss the newspaper behind the toilet for the next user. Alright. And then we'll look in the sink. Why, look, some woman removed her diamond ring to wash her hands and forgot to take it with her. We'll get the ring. Got it. You briefly consider an attempt to find the ring's owner, but return to your normal self and pocket it instead. We'll wash our hands because we're not disgusting. I mean, he is disgusting, but you know, come on. Have a little class. Say, there's no soap. There's no towels. Your hands are still dirty, but now they're wet. Okay. You see many messages on the wall. One is, "Scot me up, Beamy." One is, "Attention arcade game players, please don't eat the urinal cakes." One is, "It takes leather balls to play rugby." Say, here's an interesting one. The password is, "Ken sent me." And before we go, save the game here. Oh, and you'll see I have a few saves queued up here for some timed events and some gambling skips because I don't want to sit here and play the gambling games all day. Before we go on, though, let's be nice and flush the toilet. Realizing your mistake, you quickly jiggle the handle, attempting to stem the onrushing tide of water. It doesn't work. And guess what? You drown and die. Your life passes before your eyes. You doze briefly. Bad idea, eh, Larry? And like Space Quest, this game definitely likes to make fun of you. You screwed up this game, but you can probably do better. Let's do it just one more time. So, that's one of many, many ways to die. So we won't do that. Whoops. Oh, God, give me a break. I gotta get super close to the door handle. Oh. This game, Rodbot, has many deaths. Yes, this game has deaths. Oh, hey, Dork, you got toilet paper stuck to your shoe. You nonchalantly scrape it off. Alright. Oh, and I should point out, there is a, there's a clock that you can turn on and off right here. You see, it counts down in real time. So, it's not going to become relevant to us, but it does become relevant if you don't understand this game. Now, you rap loudly on the Naga-hide door. You wonder how many Nagas had to give their all just to decorate this sleaze hole. What's the password? Ken sent me. The bar's storage room is almost empty. Its most significant feature is a big, mean-looking dude. And you look at him, and he's no rocket scientist, okay? What does he have to say? The pimp growls. You've got no business going up these stairs, little man. You want to go upstairs? He says in a scholarly voice. You got to pay the price. $100 cash up front, no refunds. He certainly has a pleasing manner about him. And can we, hold on, can I fight him? He's far too big and you're far too wimpy. I guess you can't. Alright. Now the solution, now you can pay him to go upstairs. Or, you can use the remote control that you got, which is the actual solution to the puzzle. You click the power switch on the remote control. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Another boring soap opera. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs. Whoops. So we change the channel. Settle in. This takes a bit. You click the channel selector on the remote control. I'm Al Fartles, and this is my partner, Fed Ames. We just want to tell you how much we appreciate your support. Another boring commercial. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs. You click the channel selector on the remote control. And now, Aloha Productions is proud to present The Revenge of the Software Developers in full color and stereo sound. Another boring musical comedy. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs. You click the channel selector on the remote control. While Jim is fighting for his life with a raising female rhinoceros in heat, I'll slip into my tent with a native girl in this picture of Mai Tais. Another boring documentary. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs. You click the channel selector on the remote control. It's a beautiful day in the neighbor... No, anything but that. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs. You click the channel selector on the remote control. Live from Malaga, California, it's the Cable Sports Network presentation of the miniature female mud wrestlers 500-kilometer cross-country nude bicycle race. Another boring cable sports show. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs.
There weren't this many channels in the 80s.
There weren't this many channels in the 80s. You click the channel selector on the remote control. And next, Masterpiece Theater presents a special 3D broadcast of Naugahyde Goddesses of Oakhurst. Another boring educational show. The pimp seems vaguely interested, but not enough to leave his post by the stairs. You click the channel selector on the remote control. Oh, baby, yeah. Yeah, I love it when you do that. Oh, that hurts so good. Pull it out a little deeper. Ah. It appears you finally reached the pimp's cultural level. Out of the way. So, that is, that's pretty long joke there. But that is, you know, that's the humor of the game, right? All right, so we go upstairs. This is the hooker's seedy bedroom. The bed's a mess. Ditto the hooker. All right, not a very, not quite a charitable description, right? A sign near the bed says substantial penalty for early withdrawals. There is a table near the window. Now, does it understand kinder terms? No. What's a worker? No. And there is our sex worker. She certainly seems to enjoy that gum. Now, we're going to come back here later. There are a couple of deaths associated with this this screen. Mav me her mouth. That is actually one of them. Take box. You take... That's a box of candy. Probably should have looked first. Now we open the window. We'll climb out. Here we are in the alley. It's a nice little alley with a trash bin, 2 windows, a fire escape, a fence, and something sitting in the east window. Now... Looking at the east window, you notice a bottle of pills sitting on the window ledge. She's very orange. Yeah, the skin tones in the game. I mean, this is only a 16-color game. They had a limited palette to work with. It's the same skin tone as like anybody, like Larry, right? I mean, they had to use they used what they had, right? But that basically. Really, when you break down all the puzzles and everything, your goal in the game is to get into that window and get that pill bottle. That is the object of the game. That is what every single puzzle in the game funnels you toward. And ultimately it leads you, yeah, to the end challenge, if you will. But we can't get it now. But can I climb over the railing? I wonder. Oh, you lean far out over the railing before remembering that agility is yet another of your short suits. And so you die. Now watch this. Oh, look at that. The Sierra Adventure team races to your rescue, dumping your worthless leisure suit-clad Hulk into their giant bit bucket for recycling into future games. Their underground workshop is humming with activity. This is where adventurers are made, not born. And we see King Graham from King's Quest, the robot from Space Quest 1, the dragon from King's Quest 1. Commander Kevin quickly assembles a replacement Larry while subordinates repair players' damage in other Sierra Adventure games. Yes, he's Graham. His skin tone's yellow. He's still got jaundice. With your new body and ego, you are returned to fight again the battles of lost wages. Now you know what we have to go through every time you press the restart key. And it restarts you. So good thing I saved my game. Oh, this would also be a good time to show the boss key. This is designed like if your boss comes by and you're like, I want to look like I'm working instead of playing a video game. You hit that. But then, you know, it says, sorry, you'll have to restore your game. When you panic, I forget everything. And there are a few. Oh. Oh, is that... Can I not? There's like 3 different screens here. Is there not... here we go. Yeah. See? This is... This looks like you're working, right? Yeah, I'm totally... Yep, we got that graph. It's the quarterly graph is going up. We're selling all the things. We're selling minutes of the plain ones. So, yeah, it resets the score. It's like it's the equivalent of hitting restart. It just starts you over as though you just started the game. So, whoops, there we go. Okay, anyway. Oh. Wonder if the boss key would still work today. I don't think so. So here you are. You fall off the fire escape into the trash bin. Yuck. It's a nice little Oh, wait, no. Bin amidst assorted odoriferous refuse from Lefty's clientele. You discover Lefty's old left-handed hammer. And we take the hammer. All right. And now we are done here at the bar. Oh, you know what? Before I call the taxi, I also want to show you this. This is the screen I'm about to go into is sort of like the border of each area. You can't get past this screen, but they have a stereotypical scary black man here to beat you up in the alley. So yeah. Larry, when are you going to learn to stay out of those dark alleys? How many versions does this game have? There is this version, there is the VGA remake, and there's the 2013 Leisure Suit Larry Reloaded, as well as Softporn Adventure, which this is a remake of. It's a text-only adventure. And so there are 4 versions of this game and several sequels. So... all right, now we want to call taxi. You get in, vowing to hold your breath forever. You enter this miserable excuse for public transportation. The cabbie snarls a "where to, buddy?" as he swings the meter flag down. You wonder if cab companies have full-time employees to make these floors sticky. Looking for action, eh? This town's full of it. We got discos that's usually full of foxes this time of night. Then there's the casino next to the all-night wedding chapel. And we got a lovely bar, but you've been there. Me, I like the convenience store next to the disco, but of course that's just personal preference. We want to go to the casino. You got it, Mac. So we drive down this very detailed city street. He says, here we are, buddy. That'll be $15. And of course, we get out of the cab without paying. He says, what are you trying to do, P-head? You're not going to stip me and get away with it. And he just kicks your ass and kills you. You'll not ride with me again. And then he drives off, and he actually drives over you. So... So you say, thanks, buddy. Maybe I'll see you again sometime. You actually do pay, and then you get out of the cab. All right. I'm pretty sure that Larry is the first protagonist, the first Sierra protagonist that doesn't murder anybody in his game. Now, there's a guy who shows up here who, where is he gonna... He's very important. Here's the wedding chapel. We'll come back here later. You're outside of a romantic quickie marriage parlor. It's a casino. Huh. Well, you're in the casino. There are slot machines to the right and blackjack tables to the left. This place is a gambler's paradise. Yeah, that's quite the hoppin' casino. The entrance to the cabaret lounge is to the right by the telephone. A glass elevator awaits you. An ashtray is in front of the planter. There's some kind of card in the ashtray. We want to get the card. And the pass card reads, Lost Wages Disco. Admit one member and guest. Remember, every Monday is ladies' night. And we'll go in here. It looks like a great place. This looks like a great place to be from. You wonder where they keep the lizards. Your mouth tastes like the inside of a motorman's glove. That's my cue to use my breath spray. Which it doesn't really matter if you don't. If you don't, people will just make fun of you for your bad breath. And here we have this comedian with his bad jokes. My wife and I have a new system. If she wants sex, she reaches over and strokes me once. And I hit enter and didn't see the other line, but oh well, it's a bad joke. So let's see. We sit down here. At least the comics whoopee cushion doesn't smell. Ha ha. You get a point for that, which is why in here at all. My best sexual encounter was in the South Sea Islands. I pushed a volcano into a virgin. Ah ha ha ha. Evidently he thinks he's funny. Yeah, let's get out of here. This guy has terrible jokes. Oh, don't worry. There will be a lot of bad punchlines in Leisure Suit Larry 3. You have to sit through a whole comedy routine for points there. Now, I want this dude to show up. There's a dude that shows up, like wearing a barrel, and he has an apple. He'll sell you apples. Is this the kind of thing where I just need to run back and forth? I don't know. Where's Apple Man? Where are you at, Apple Man? Oh, there he is. All right. Hello, sir. Would you help out a poor unfortunate by purchasing an apple? The price is reasonable. Only $1. He's yet another poor soul who donated his everything so the shrine of lost wages could continue to flourish. Thank you very much, sir. Please call again whenever you are in the neighborhood, says the man. And with that, he walks away into the night. All right. He walks away into the night. Okay. He certainly is walking away into the night. Yep. That'd be very funny if he just got hit by a car when he crossed the street. Because guess what? When you go into the street, you get hit by a freaking car. You know, the traffic here is really a killer. You should forget about crossing these streets. So, back into the casino. Now, we can play slots. All right. And, increase our bet to however much we want. She has a $20 limit. And, you know, just try your luck there. Or you can play blackjack. And, you know, play blackjack, right? And you know, it's real blackjack for the most part here. I'm sure the deck gets reshuffled after every hand, you know. Oh. Thanks for the cheer, King Galaxy. Look at this. I'm winner. Do I get points for gambling? I don't know if you get points for gambling. Alright. My blackjack, I'm a little rusty on my blackjack. So this is the gambling. And I'm going to skip it here. Here I am, same number of points as you see. And in my wallet I have $250, which is the upper limit of what you can have money-wise. So, I just don't want to sit here and gamble. Waste too much time doing that. So now we want to call a taxi. And we want to go to the convenience store. Oh, and you know what? I should say that. Whoops. The Apple salesman in front of the casino is actually one of the biggest change. Is probably the biggest change from Softporn Adventure, because in that game there was a whole convoluted puzzle where you actually have to like get seeds and like plant them and grow an apple tree. So they simplified that for this game, because it probably looked a little ridiculous when they actually tried to, you know, make a game, make a graphics and everything. All right. So here we are in front of the convenience store. You're outside an all-night convenience store. There is a telephone on the pole. The portion of the telephone book that wasn't illegible from being water-soaked has been torn out. Well, who's this guy? He looks like a man that could use a drink. Haha. Thanks for the subs, me.js and Zetagun. Got any spare change? No. No, I don't. But there is a, puzzle involving him. There are some numbers scribbled on the side of the telephone. The only thing legible and printable is 555-6969. And he asks, oh, have you got any spare wine then? And that's the trick. We are going to ignore him for now. And we're going to dial 555-6969. Hello. You've reached the National Hotline Sex Survey. Please answer the following questions. There may be a wonderful prize waiting for you. What is the name of your favorite sex partner? I'm just going to answer in character for Larry. Passionate Patty. What's the best part of your partner's anatomy? Well, their fingernail, of course. What do the two of you like to do together? Have Lord of the Rings marathons, obviously. What is the best part of your body? My spleen, of course. And finally, name your partner's favorite object. IKEA shelves. Cool. Thanks for participating. Your prize is Looks like they hung up on you. Oh well, it was probably a bummer prize anyway. So we'll go in here. You're in a 24-hour convenience store. There is a magazine rack near the front of the door with a sign reading, "This is no library. No leading." That's pretty... let's just call it what it is. Pretty racist joke. Except for the clerk standing behind the counter, the store appears to be deserted. A small sign graces the counter. What does the sign say? A small, discreetly hand-lettered sign says, "Prophylactics for sale. Ask clerk." The dude can spell prophylactics, but not reading. Give me a break. Oh, Aaron. Hi, Aaron. I was just typing absurd things into the... You'll see, because they call you back, and they actually use the terms you typed in. So I'm setting that up. So we get the magazine. Your mouth tastes like the inside of a motorman's glove. Let's use some breath spray. There we go. And read magazine. Well, looks like this month's issue is filled with intelligent literary articles with redeeming social value. Let's see now. Here's an article about how professional window washers secure themselves to buildings with a rope around their waist. Nah, you flip through the pages until you discover, oh, a nice centerfold. And that is really the pertinent clue about what you need to do to get over to that window in Lefty's bar. They put it in the adult magazine. And that is, in fact, the only use for the adult magazine. Oop, what? Really? If I type look wall, that's what I meant the shelves. The extra large jug of wine looks like a bargain. You grab a bottle of cheap wine and wonder how they can make a profit selling this stuff for only $1 a gallon. And of course, and this would become a little bit of a tradition in Larry Gaines, if you try to leave without paying, the dude just shoots you. The clerk does not take kindly to your shoplifting. His shotgun makes a permanent impression on you and in you, and then he's probably arrested and sent to prison. I don't know why he would do that. So, we want to buy a condom. After looking around to make sure you're alone, you quietly ask the clerk if he has any available behind the counter. Sure, we got lubbers. Obviously, you've hit his area of expertise. What kind you want? Smooth or... Alright. I'm just going to choose the first choice of all the things he's going to ask me. Color your plain. Lubricated or rough cut. Striped or plaid. Oh, good. Where's Waldo? Peppermint or spearmint flavored. Okie dokie. Mister. Ugh. Hey, everybody. This weirdo just bought a peppermint flavored, striped, lubricated, colored, smooth rubber. What a pervert. So, yeah. Making fun of you for buying a condom. That's setting up that joke. He hands you the package, saying, altogether, that will be $8. Really? Please. It should say, please. Give me a break. You give him the money with a pleasant, thanks a lot, big mouth. And look at this. You look at him, and that's what that is what the joke is. It's this is even pre-Simpsons. Pretty racist. He smiles back, pretending to understand. Ugh. So that doesn't age well. Hey, Mr. Yellow Cook, I hope you enjoy your peppermint-flavored, striped, lubricated, colored, smooth rubber. Oh. And now we answer the phone. Hello. You pick up the phone to hear a woman's voice. Hello, Larry. This is Passionate Patty. Why don't you forget this silly game and come over to my place so we can have Lord of the Rings marathons? After all, your spleen has always turned me on. So bring along an IKEA shelf and come play with my fingernails. Bye now. You hang up the telephone and wipe the sweat from your hands. And here's this guy again. Got any spare change, buddy? Well, no, but I have this wine. Why, thanks, Sonny. Did it get better in the updated versions, the convenience store? No, it got worse. We will get to it. The VGA remake came out right after the Gulf War. Remember that before we go to the convenience store in that remake. No, it got worse. I ain't got no remote control, but say, I'll tell you what, here's my trusty old pocket knife. You never know, there's some kink girls in this town. Sexy hunks like us might have to defend ourselves sometimes. With that, he stumbles off into the darkness. Oh, you know what? Oh, I should have shown you. There's actually a death. I can show you later. There's a death that occurs if you get into the taxi cab while carrying alcohol. The cab driver will just steal it from you and get drunk and wreck. Now I'm going to show you a joke here. If you dial Sierra's support line, their real world support line at the time. Whoops. Whoa. What? 209-683-6858. Does that happen if I hit like... That's weird. It doesn't like me alt-tabbing. 6858, fun fact, that is also the code used to self-destruct the star generator in the original Space Quest 1. 8675309, I don't think that does anything. Hello, a pleasant voice responds. Sierra Online. We're not open right now, but if you'd call during business hours and stop using this pretend telephone, we would be happy to sell you a Leisure Suit Larry hint book. Written by Lowe, the author of Leisure Suit Larry, you know it at least tries to be humorous. The answers are invisible until you mark them with a special pen provided, so you never have to worry about inadvertently learning something you didn't want to know. Thank you for calling Sierra Online and for your purchase of Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards. Goodbye. Such blatant commercialism turns you on. You make a mental note to purchase one of those great Lowe hint books. Hey. So, over here we have the disco. You are outside a flashy disco. The bouncer does not look happy. He's physically well developed, but you bet he's not as wise in the ways of women as you are. Halt, I'm sorry, sir, says the bouncer, but this is a private club. What? You know he'd beat you to a pulp. But really, we show him the pass. You whip out your borrowed membership card and lay it on him. Good evening, sir. I'm so sorry I didn't recognize you sooner. Please, come right in. So you go inside, and the disco is filled with remarkably similar guys, all looking for girls. And so it's a bunch of dudes in leisure suits, because that's the disco. You smile at the girl and say, "May I join you?" And of course she replies, "Why, am I coming apart?" From Phil. Did I ever go as Leisure Suit Larry for Halloween? No. Oh God, no. Use knife. What would you do with a knife? Oh, stab, stab, stab. Doesn't anybody blank anymore? No? Oh, there's not like a witty response to that. Oh, look at her. There she is. What a knockout. She has bright blue eyes and a dazzling smile. Your eyes roam her body, and what you see you like. She's sensational. Larry, this must be love. Hiya, baby. What say you and me get it on? That's how you pick up girls, right? That's what you do. That's the line, right? That's how it works. Get lost, creep. Hey, sweetheart, what's your sign? You ask her. Octagonal, she replies, like in stop. My name's Larry, you offer. Larry laugher. Say, Larry, she chuckles, glancing downward. Is that a Pez dispenser in your pocket, or are you just lonely? What's your name, beautiful? You ask. Fawn, she replies. Somehow you knew that. Oh, Fawn. I'd really like to get to know you better, you say. What kind of girl are you, anyway? What the hell kind of question is that? I'd really like to know you better. What kind of girl are you, anyway? Yeah, okay. That. She smiles and says, I'm just a girl who can't say no. All right, Larry, this is what you've been waiting for. Tonight's presents, she concludes. Oops. Oh, and then that's the end of the conversation. Let's see. Can we dance with her yet? Oh, you're so sweet. I just love dancing. I thought you'd never ask. Come on. So now, come on, Larry. What are you waiting for? I'm hot to get it on with you. She means the dancing. So here we go. They're boogieing. This is their Saturday night fever sequence here. Look at him go. He's a regular Napoleon Dynamite. Look, she's trying to get past me. I'm not letting her. Oh. And then, okay. So, she's basically like, give me presents. You have to figure out what to give her. So you give her the rose. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love roses. You give her the chocolates. Oh, candy. I guess. You're so sweet. I just love candy. And give her the ring. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love diamonds. You're so sweet. I just love you, Larry. I want you to make wild, passionate love to me. All right, Larry, at last. You're going to get lucky. She continues, but first we must get married. I could never make love to a man not my husband. If you would loan me $100, I'd rent the honeymoon suite at the casino hotel for us. Then after we're married, we'll celebrate there. So it should be, I would say, it should be clear to the player at this point, even if you've never played the game, that she is taking Larry for a ride. She is a con artist, and she's, you know, either give me some money or I'll leave without you, she says. So it's clear that this is not going to go as you think it will. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love money. Thanks, Larry. You won't regret this. Meet me at the marriage chapel near the casino in a few minutes. I'll get us a room. Hurry, Larry. I can hardly wait. So, what are you into this time, Larry? So now, get in a taxi, and we will go to the chapel. Let's see. So yeah, this is the first time that Larry's a sucker for somebody who's taking total blatant advantage of him. That'll be $12. Okay. All right. I think we already looked around here. You are outside a romantic quickie marriage parlor. There's a guy wearing a trench coat. You walk over to him, and look at that. It's obvious he doesn't have much to hide. You talk to him. Say, you ask him, by any chance, is your name Shorty? Which you get a point for. And how much money do we have left? $122 in cash. Vaughn is waiting for you at the altar. Go for it, Larry. The man looks a lot like his brother, the bad comedian in the Lizard Lounge. So, yeah. That's the brother of the comedian with the bad jokes. The minister intoned in his, basso voice. I'm assuming it's basso. Okay, whatever. Dearly beloved, we are gathered together today in the sight of her, each other to enter these two people into the eternal bonds of marriage. But before we really get rolling, I'd like to say a few words. Many's the marriage that I've performed here in this little chapel, wearing this cheap suit before those shiny plastic-covered pews with these electric candles, looking at those genuine plexiglass stained glass windows for these measly few bucks. He pauses for another nip from his pocket flask. Where was I, he hiccups. Digressing, you answer. Oh, well, have you got a ring, he asks. Yep, you reply, she's wearing it. Good enough for me, have you got $100? Of course, you reply, forking over your dough. Okay, close enough. I now pronounce you man and wife till death do you part, or until you get tired of each other per the currently acceptable social standards. You may kiss the bride, he says, scurrying out the door to refill his flask. Not now, that can wait, Fawn says with a smile. I'll meet you at the Casino Hotel's honeymoon suite and give you a lot more than kisses, my big, strong, handsome sweetheart. Hey, you shout, wait for me. Somehow this entire ceremony was less than you expected. The sacred bonds of marriage certainly get tied loosely in this joint. So now... we go back to the casino. And now we get to go up to the honeymoon suite. And happen to know it's on the 4th floor. All the floors look the same in this hotel. Except you'll notice when we get to the 4th floor, on the left side of the screen, there's a heart on the door. And that is where we are going. Fawn's delicate voice booms out across the hotel. Just a minute, Larry. There's a click as she unlocks the door, then a piercing, come on in, the door is open. Suddenly you shout, here I come, baby. I think the least a gentleman would do is to buy a lady a bottle of wine. Huh. So now you have to go get wine. Now, there are some ways to screw this up. But you really want to turn on the radio. Sounds like a nice mellow station. And just listen to the radio for a bit. The radio interrupts the Frank Sinatra medley with an obnoxious singing commercial. We're Ajax Liquor, and we're proud to say we deliver all across the USA. You're out of luck if you want to dine, but if you just need booze, dial 555-8039. And now back to our music. So, now we have to go back to the convenience store. You close the door behind you and can jiggle the knob to confirm it is locked. And now we go back down to the 1st floor. And I only have $22 in cash, which means I need to go play some blackjack. Oh, look at that. Who needs saved games? See if I can win one more. Guess what? We're just gonna do this. Boom. Same number of points. Here we go. How much money do I have? $61. Okay, well, I guess that what I had would have actually been enough. All right. And now we want to go to the convenience store. Is this where I got my unreasonable love for Vegas? No, I used to live in Nevada. I lived in Nevada for about a year, and that's where I got my unreasonable love of Vegas. All right, now we pay this guy. Now, what I could do, I could go in here. I think I can probably buy more wine, yep. And then pay. Right, so I'm like, oh, I got wine. Cool. And then you get wine, you're like, I got it. Ha, I knew where that was. And you get in the taxi, and the driver looks at you and says, hey, what's that you got? Wine? He grabs your bottle of wine and guzzles it down. Hang on, Larry. He's swerving all over the road. Oh, dear. And that's it. It seems a bridge abutment has brought your game to a sudden stop. Remember, Larry, friends don't let cabbies drive drunk. So, that's what happens if you do that, right? So, what we want to do is use the phone, dial 555-8039. Hello, Ajax Liquor Store. We deliver. So what do you want to buy? Wine? Fine. Where do you want it delivered? You have to be very specific with them. Okay, we'll get it right there. Consider it done, and thanks for calling. And then we go back to the hotel. That'll be $13. And here we go. Mission accomplished. We've got our wine. We're married, right? We've got a whole 111 out of 222 points. The game couldn't... It's over, clearly, right? We're at the end. And now it's time to go back up the escalator and live happily ever after with Fawn. The only woman for Larry Laffer. Fawn's sexy voice oozes through the door. Oh, baby, it's you. You're back. There's a click as she unlocks the door. Come on in, you wonderful hunk. Suddenly you shout, here I come, baby. Oh, Larry, it's you, Fawn says. I thought it was that cute young delivery boy again. You carefully remove the bottle from the wine bucket, unscrew the cap, and pour 2 glasses. She downs her glass immediately. You refill it, and she does it again. Her eyes meet yours, and you're sure luck is with you this time. I'm ready when you are, honey. Come on, Larry. What are you waiting for? She says, lie down, Larry. I have a special surprise for you. Then she says, close your eyes, and you do because you're sure that finally success is at hand. Oh, Fawn, you moan. Your breath smells like floor sweepings from a rendering plant. What a great time for the breath spray message to go off. Oh, and she even says, yeah, I was just thinking about that breath of yours. Wow. Oh, baby, that feels so good. Ooh. Say, Fawn, when are you going to get undressed? Hey, what's the deal with that rope? Why are you tying me to the bed? Uh-oh. When Fawn has you securely tied to the bed, she grabs your wallet, saying, you forgot to pay me for the wine, and heads out the door. Fawn, come back, you shout. This isn't funny. You wonder if there's any way a guy can consummate by himself. Larry, it looks like the honeymoon's over. Oh, This is the honeymoon suite. The heart-shaped bed would have been perfect for you and Fawn. Too bad things worked out like this. So you look in your inventory, and you go, gee, what do I do? You have a pocket knife. Whoops. Did I misspell something? Cut rope with knife. Right, using the pocket knife you got from the old bum by the convenience store, you saw through the ropes holding you to the bed. You grab your wallet and look inside. Oh well. At least she didn't find the $10 you hid in that secret compartment. With your consummate gambling skills, you should be back on your feet in no time. And don't you think a heart-shaped bed is trite? Now the rope, you have no rope, obviously, it's on the bed. Now, right here, if you walk out of that room without grabbing the rope, you can never finish the game because you can't get back in. So and it should be obvious from seeing it right there, obviously, because you take everything that's not nailed down, you take the rope. You never know when a nice piece of rope will come in handy. So, oops, oh my god, this game's so nitpicky about being close to door handles. You close the door behind you and jiggle the knob to confirm it is locked. And now, we go back. What happens if you don't have a knife? You're stuck. You cannot proceed further if you don't have a knife. You're just sitting there struggling on the bed and cannot finish the game. Now, we go back down here, and of course, your wallet contains some wrinkled business cards, lots of notes, some credit cards, which won't work in this game, and $10 in cash. And you have to make enough money to get back on your feet. You lose. Oh no, you're now penniless. You hawk your leisure suit and spend the rest of your life on Skid Row eating discarded fast food. That is dark. The rest of your story is too sad to tell. Time for a little R&R, Larry. Restart or restore. Thanks, Sierra. But it's a good thing I have my third gambling skip. And I have $250 in cash. I don't know, Joshua, if the game tells you you're out of luck if you don't have the knife. I don't know if it just lets you sit there and fumble or if it gives you a game over. Where did I don't want to go through that again. Maybe we'll try with the VGA version and see what happens. Okay. But now I have plenty of money. Done with Fawn, which, again, like, she completely took Larry for a ride and made him look like an idiot. Not exactly the best depiction of a woman the series has, but it is an interesting scenario at the very least. And now we're going back to Lefty's bar. Oh. And now you get to see all the stuff with all the stuff upstairs. Now let's save the game here. Now, I want to take this opportunity to show you one of the things that happens is that Lefty's. Let's see. Whoops. Yeah, Lefty's. If you notice that clock there. You can't. This door is securely locked. Lefty's closes at 3 a.m. The bar actually closes at 3 a.m. In game time. 5 hours after the game starts in real time. And so if you don't have everything done that you need to do at Lefty's, you're stuck. But yeah, it actually does close. Fortunately, right now, it's 10:24 a.m. Got plenty of time. Or 10:24 p.m. You rap loudly on the Naugahyde door. The password is still Ken sent me. And this dude is still watching his TV. We'll use some breath spray because, you know, got to do that. And go upstairs. And now we get to see, here's all this. Okay. Let's see if how delicately I can phrase this. Well, here, let's show you what happens if you have sex without the condom. Look at that. That's as raunchy as it gets, as a bouncing censored bar. Do I have any tips for cutting fresh herbs finally without damaging them? Get a Ginsu knife. And yeah, the game's like, what's a oral? Yeah, it doesn't really register. Okay, I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go back and do this. Do this again the right way. But I have just had sex with her with no condom. Okay. So here we are. Do. It appears that the hooker gave you a little more than you bargained for. Uh-oh. I've gone nuclear. Well, life may be possible. It is no longer worth living. And, yeah. That's what happens if you don't use protection. So, now you wear a condom. Yes, this would be a perfect time. The Surgeon General would be proud. And then you have the sex. STDs actually explode. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they actually explode in real life. Although successful, you feel less than satisfied. Technically speaking, you're no longer a virgin, but for some reason, the thrill just wasn't there. You vow to continue your quest until you please your heart, not just your other organs. And that, like I said, as I was alluding to earlier, there's a little bit more to this character than just like, I didn't go bang chicks, right? They try to actually make him a little bit sympathetic. And it gives you the message, a good thing you were wearing that rubber. Let's save the game. And once again, go outside. Because there's another death associated with this. Everything's just fine, right? Nothing is amiss. Uh-oh. He appeared to be chasing someone. Stop, pervert. Oh, man. Stop, pervert, shouts the cop. Caught you, pervert. The cop shouts, we don't like people exposing themselves around this town, especially wearing one of those. Next time, if you insist on wearing your rubber in public, you should at least zip your fly. That's what happens if you forget to take off the condom. It's Sunny Bonds. It's not Sunny Bonds, but I'm assuming if I look at that character, that sprite, I'm sure they probably reused that for Police Quest. Because Lowe went on to work on Police Quest right after this. So, we remove the condom. Good idea. You carefully remove and dispose of it properly. And she seems more interested in that cigarette than she was in you. Was it good for you, baby, you ask her? Was what good? She replies. And now, here we are. We have everything we need in order to get those pills. Tie the rope around our waist. And then tie it to the railing. And then we climb over with the rope securely holding you to the railing. You can reach all the way over to the window. Now of all times, you notice the window's locked. Larry is not a murderer like King Graham, Gwydion, or Taryn, or Roger Wilco, but he is a vandal. Suddenly, you smash the window with your hammer. Your future as a second-story man seems quite plausible. You got him, but what are they? All right, we climb back, untie the rope. And we fall into the trash once again. And we get out of the trash. Now here is the joke. Well, I'll have more to say about this in a few minutes. Even though a portion of the label is missing, you can still make out the letters niche and fool. The joke is that that is a bottle of Spanish fly, a highly toxic drug that some people use as an aphrodisiac. Which you should not do. Alright, and now we go to the casino. You know, I bet there's probably a death associated with taking those pills. I bet. Right, now we get out of the cab. What happens if we take the pills? Without thinking, you down the entire bottle. Hey, this stuff is okay. Your breathing becomes heavy and you're suddenly extremely horny. You've just got to do something right now. Hey, where's that cute black dog? Oh. Following your conviction... Oh my god, following your conviction for bestiality, you spend the rest of your life in prison, turning big rocks into little ones. Oh. I don't think I've ever seen that one. That's awful. That's terrible. Jesus. Okay. That's just, oh. Not a great joke. I feel bad for the dog. It's just a little doggy. All right, and now that we've seen that, we want to go all the way to the penthouse. All the way up. Larry does have some redeeming qualities, but there are some bad jokes in these games. Now, let's see. Look around. Try looking at the girl first. Okay. She is a knockout, but that pair of pistols slung around her hips brings you a sense of foreboding to your gut. This is Faith, the security guard. Hi, baby, I think I loves ya. May I help you in some way, sir? She responds in a pleasant but businesslike voice. My name is Larry, you offer. Larry laugher. Say, Larry, she says with a smile, is that a roll of dimes in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me? Hey, sweetheart, what's your sign, you ask her. Exit, she replies. Try using it. What's your name, beautiful, you ask. Faith, she replies. Unusual name. I'm only in town for one night, you try again. How about we get together when you get off duty? She smiles and says, oh, I could never be unfaithful to my boyfriend. Larry, it seems this one's going to require outside assistance. You're a man of the world, Larry. Perhaps some sort of medical stimulant would help. It directly gives you, it is like you need the pills for her, right? That's the solution. Let's see if I can... Oh, the beautiful security guard is sitting at the desk. A pair of large pistols are in a holster around her slim waist. She looks friendly, but quick on the trigger. Well, I know that there's a button I need to push. Touch that button and you're dead meat, white suit. So she's guarding this button that we need to get up to penthouse suite. And the way to get past her is to give her the pills, which is kind of a bit date rapey, right? How many of these lines have you attempted on April? Give me a break. I say dorky, cheesy things to my wife often enough, just because I know it'll get like a stupid reaction, just because I know I'm being an idiot. But no, nothing like that. She takes one look at the bottle of Spanish Fly and says, "Boy, thanks. How did you know that I love this stuff?" She tosses down a couple of pills, then a few more, and finally gulps the whole bottle. Her breathing becomes faster and faster until she begins to pant. Like I said, this is a highly toxic and a deadly drug that... Not advocating any of this. Looks like tonight's your lucky night, Larry. So long, Faith says. I've got to find my boyfriend before this stuff wears off. It appears Faith is true to her name. Twisting her key in the lock, she disappears down the employee stairs. Alright, well, since you're no longer staring at Faith's ample weapons, you notice an unlabeled button on her desk. We push the button. The penthouse elevator doors glide open. So yeah, the whole Spanish Fly situation is like, that's the thing that really does not age well about this game. That whole joke. Uh-oh, where are we going now, Larry? Why, we're going out here. This is the living room of the hotel's penthouse suite. Obviously, the hotel spared no expense here. There's a fireplace on the walls to the south. No one is here, but you hear a gurgling noise coming from somewhere. Fireplace to the south. You wonder how they can make those gas logs look so real. The joke being that you can't see anything. The bear looks back at you with a glassy-eyed stare, possibly because his eyes are made of glass. And here, the penthouse bedroom is quite deluxe. Alright, we open the door. And you found a closet full of uninteresting stuff plus one inflatable doll. Got her. Your mind reels with the possibilities. You huff and you puff and you blow your doll up. Holding out at arm's length, you pause to admire your handiwork. What more would you want to see? Somehow you expected more. The rest of the closet... Oh, it's still giving us closet messages. Oh, boy. Do you find it difficult to have a meaningful relationship with latex? Okay, there we go. Geez, Larry, do we have to? You actually have to, you know, say it twice. All right, you asked for it. In fact, you've asked for it twice. Here we go. Selecting your own personal favorite from the 3 available openings, you shyly try out the doll. This has to be the kinkiest thing you've done in a long time, Larry. You gradually increase your tempo as you lose your inhibitions, not to mention your self-esteem. Faster and faster you go until suddenly there's a loud, flatulent sound. Go get her, Larry. Wait till you see the doll's face in the VGA version. If you think the doll's face is something here. So long, baby, you shout. Oh, but look, here you are on the roof. The moonlight's an expansive rooftop garden with a spa in one corner. You found the source of the gurgling noise. In the hot tub is the most beautiful girl you've ever seen. Beside her is her towel and swimsuit. You can't believe she doesn't mind your presence here. That is a bit unbelievable that she doesn't mind your presence here. That a strange man has broken into her hotel room and is out here, is rifling through her possessions, and is out here on the roof. You would think she would be terrified. Hey, handsome, why don't you slip into the water with me so we can really get to know each other? This is a bit far-fetched. Just a bit. Her hand is resting near a fluffy, white, expensive bath towel embroidered in florid script with the name Eve. The one clue the game ever gives you that you have to give her the apple. Now, we want to get in the hot tub. Wasting no time, you hop into the water. Oh, does it feel good? The warm water swirls about you, the bubbles stimulating you nearly as much as the beautiful woman across from you. With the warmth of the water soaking into your body, you become quite relaxed. Now, before I get to the end of the game here, I want to show you one other thing. Now, there's an event that happens when you walk outdoors when the time reaches 5 a.m. in the morning, okay? It's 5:19 here. I suppose I should preface this for anybody who has any kind of traumatic experience with suicide or guns or anything. That's what's coming here. This is played for laughs, but I don't want to upset anyone. If you play this game until for 7 hours real time and you don't finish it, this is what happens. Okay? Oh no. Stepping outside, you see the sun rising in the east. Glancing at your watch, you realize the terrible truth. Your night in Sierra World is over, and technically speaking, you're still a virgin. And so, Larry decides to freaking commit suicide. And yeah. So that's dark. A lot of people don't even know that exists. There's actually a custom animation there for it. Maybe you would have encountered it when the game was new and you didn't understand what was going on. But, and, you know, you didn't know what to do. But, yeah, that happens. So, yeah, let's look. Oops. Wow, just the way you like your women. Nearby and naked. She has a beautiful tan and a gorgeous body. You've waited a lifetime for this moment. Who loves you, baby? That's his first line. You get in the pool. This guy undresses, gets in the pool with you. You're both naked. You've never met him in your life, and he says, "Who loves you, baby?" A little creepy. She says nothing, but that smile tells you a lot. Tells you this game was written by a man. Have you ever tried it underwater, you coyly ask. She doesn't say. What's your name, gorgeous, you ask. She says nothing, but that smile tells you a lot. What's your sign, dollface, you ask. At last she speaks. Yield, she says simply. Although she smiles, it appears she's a woman of few words. She's waiting for you to determine what it is she wants. And if you, well, let's see. If you just try to have sex with her, she slaps you. I mean, you know, of course. But you give her the apple. Eve takes your apple and with a sweet, innocent look, raises it to her mouth. She takes a small bite out of it while a sexy smile comes across her face. She winks and lies back in the water, chewing delicately. Eve gently moves her sensuous tongue around the apple, tiny drops of the apple's juice glistening on her lips. All right, she's really turning you on. You had no idea fruit could be so exciting. After finishing the apple, Eve slowly slides out of the hot tub, her steamy naked body glistening in the moonlight. barely covering her tremendous assets with the towel. She smiles and motions for you to follow her. And yeah, the apple could have had razors in it. Who knows? That's true. You can take a hint. Let's go, baby, you whisper. As you leave the hot tub, Eve speaks at last. Say, Larry, you really are glad to see me. Who knows where Barrel Guy even got the apple? Yeah, you're right. He could have been that guy who put razors in the apples or whatever. And here we have the ending theme. What is it? The Stars and Stripes Forever, composed in 1896 by John Philip Sousa. Congratulations, Larry. You've done it. You've successfully completed your evening in Sierra World, lost your virginity, and emerged victorious. Yeah, sneak into room, find naked lady in hot tub, give her apple, have sex. Works every time, right? Yeah, obviously. Of course, your feelings of success are short-lived, since this is where Ken Williams has to tell you about our soon-to-be-released sequel. Hey, Ken, come here. Give him your pitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Williams. Hi, folks. Remember, coming to this very computer real soon now is the next installment in the saga of Larry Laffer, traveling software salesman. I tell you the name now, but we haven't made one up yet. Be sure to pick up a few extra copies just in case our disc copier is screwed up again. And that's that. Oh wait, we almost forgot to tell you how well you played. You played okay, I guess. On behalf of Mark and Sandy, Al and Marg, Jeff and Chris, Russ and Kim, Larry and Bob, Ken and Roberta, Bob and Marilyn, and/or Bob and Jeannie, John and Mary, Bob and Carol, and Ted and Alice, thanks for playing, and be sure to tell each and every one of your friends to buy their own personal copy of this game. Love ya, baby. And then it's over. Ken Williams looks like a walrusy fellow. Kinda. He kinda is, yeah. So that is, that's the original version of Leisure Suit Larry. Relatively tame, right? And also, I almost forgot, I should show off, got our boxes here, right? That's the original Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah, I don't know if it necessarily ages too well. But, you know, here's the VGA version, the 256 color remake. Ooh. And this is another one of the Sierra games that came out in separate EGA and VGA versions because they were concerned about people being able to run them on their hardware at the time. So I'll show you. There are a few comparison shots I've made that I want to show you. So let's see. We are going to play the VGA, the SCI1 version. How much do these games run for? They were probably, I think I recall them being offered in Sierra catalogs in the early 90s for like $59.95. They were full price games, you know. And there was Leisure Suit Larry Reloaded. I'll get to that. I'm not going to play it today, but we'll get to it. So, actually, I want to show you. The Larry 1, this version was released in 1991 for Amiga, Macintosh, and MS-DOS. It came on some floppy disks. And there was also a CD-ROM version. It was later re-released on CD-ROM as part of the Sierra Originals label. It's exactly the same as the disc version. There's no voice or anything like that to it. But, yeah, I have both of them here. And, yeah, this is like Space Quest 1. If you saw my Space Quest 1 video, it's similar in that, you know, it's just all redone. All the graphics are redone in kind of a much more stylized way. And let's see. We'll just jump in here. Let's see. go. Gotta change my box art. And there we go. All right. And be using the nice rolling MT32 sounds here. That is the way to experience Sierra games. And here we go. Much more, as you'll see, much more garish. That's pretty much it for the intro. Just those two screens. Did Larry's hair get worse? Larry's hair gets worse with every game. Leader Suit Larry and the Land of the Lounge Leaders contains some elements of plot which may not be considered appropriate for some children. How old are you? Yeah, sure you are. To verify your age, please answer these 5 simple questions. The world is spherical. Let It Be was recorded by... I don't know. I'm bad at music. All politicians are on the public payroll. Haha. Lingerie is sexy. Paul, John, Ringo, and George. And now, a question that won't tax your memory. This question refers to the documentation that came with your copy of this game. And this is the copy protection. In the Palomino Ranch brochure, the gal sitting around the campfire is playing which of the following? Now, let's have a look. The game isn't for flat earthers, apparently. Yeah, for real. Whoops. There's what I want. Okay. So, all the documents that came with this game, there are a few. There's this Lost Wages After Dark Visitor's Guide, which is more just kind of a reference card for the game. There is this mystery hole brochure, which, you know, fake attraction. You know, kind of a takeoff on the mystery spot. There's the Palomino Ranch brochure, which, what was the question? The gal sitting around the campfire is playing what? What is she playing? That is that's a guitar. Okay. And then finally we have this Who's Whom in America letter, and it'll ask you various questions based on these documents. So, guitar. Thank you. Now slip into your leader suit and enter the land of the lounge leaders with Leader Suit Larry. So here we are. Turn the speed up a bit here. Lefty's windows are too dirty to see through. Considering the looks of this place, you decide that next time you'd be better off to spend a little more money on your computer games. Haha. You cleverly notice the light shines from only one of the windows up above Lefty's. Could that be someone up there? So there's all kinds of other description here. And I want to show you, before we go much further, so I would maybe maximize your window for this, but here is a comparison shot for Lefty's bar, for how it has looked over the years. From the front, the outside, from the version we just played, the 16-color EGA version of this game in the middle there, top middle, and then the VGA version, the version I've started here on the right. And then down below is Leisure Suit Larry 1 Reloaded, and Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Don't Dry, where you go back to Lost Wages. So, and as you can see, and as you'll see from a bunch of these comparison shots, Leisure Suit Larry Reloaded was based heavily on the VGA version, and the aesthetics of Lefty's in Wet Dreams Don't Dry are they take a lot more cues from the original version. So, but yeah, that's a nice little comparison shot. That's the first one. I've got a few here to show you. And I should say the art style for this game, the creative director at Sierra at the time was a guy named Bill Davis, and he had tried in the 90s. He had really wanted to implement, to create and implement like a strong house style for their games with a lot of like kind of cartoony, very angular designs, and you can really see that come through quite heavily in this game. So, yeah, interesting thing to note for Sierra games of that era. And the main art designer for this game is Bill Skirvin, who has a pretty deep history with this series. He did art for Larry 2, 3, and 6, as well as a bunch of the Kingswest games that were made in the same era. So, yeah, just keep that in mind as we go through here. And you'll see, here, there's a bunch of different icons. There's like a nose and mouth icon. There's a zipper icon. Those are unique to the Larry games. You know, this is back when Sierra's point-and-click games were very new. Like I said, 1991. And this game, it actually has a lot of staff overlap with Larry 5, which came out in the same year. And so it shares a lot of the goofy icons and things like that. Now, the inside of Lefty's bar here, I'll show you another one. There's Lefty's bar again. That same comparison grouping. It's changed a lot over the years. It's kept a lot of the same elements, just kind of rearranged a bit. You'll see in this game that the moose head was moved to the right side of the screen. That sets up a little joke in the storage room a little later. Larry Reloaded actually had gambling machines in all of the locations so that you were never stuck in a place where you couldn't get more money. So let's see. All right, we're gonna go through all the same stuff here. You greet the bartender with a friendly hello. What'll it be? Why, whiskey. I'll have a glass of your fine well whiskey, you tell Lefty. Ken Williams there trying to tell me jokes once again. Slip $5 onto the counter. You don't drink the whiskey, but instead decide to carry it with you wherever you go, precariously balanced in an open shot glass. Because third is your nut in the barrel. Alright, yeah, that's great. Great, Ken Williams. A large man sits beside the only woman in Lefty. He's obviously thrilled with the sound of his own voice. Perhaps some commentary on Ken Williams. They always liked using him as a joke. Oh no! Did I forget to change back? Jeez. I'm sitting here telling you all about the game. Here we go. Sorry about... Oops. No, that wasn't right. There we go. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's Lefty, and there's Ken, and I got a whiskey, and there's this dude who's just drinking heavily, and yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, Ken Williams is there, as you can see, once again. Anyway, alright. Technical difficulties. We get the rose. Ken's gone from walrusy to angry uncle. No, he's still kind of walrusy. He shows up again at the end. This dude, again, wants to have a drink with you. You can see you have all of your items here once again. Nice, tidy inventory. You give this guy whiskey. That did hit the old spot. You know, you must be my only friend in the world, so I'm going to give you my only possess, my only possess, my only possess, my only possess, all I got in the world. Besides, what's a guy like me need with a television remote control? What's my favorite version of this game? You know, in most cases, the better version is the remake. The King's Quest remake is better. The Space Quest remake adds a lot of clarity. As we'll get into a little later, the Police Quest remake is better for a lot of reasons. Quest for Glory, you could kind of go either way on it. They're both pretty good. This game, like... I don't know. I kind of, truth be told, this design of Larry, which is sort of like what the kind of iconic design that they've iterated on over the years, I actually kind of prefer the earlier designs in the first 3 Larry games to this. I always have, just because that's probably because that's what I started with. But this version of the game probably has more character. It's a little less generic in terms of how just the look and everything. Speaking of which, here, let's do another comparison. Here is the back room in all the games. As you can see in the EGA version in the middle versus the VGA version on the right, which is what we're playing, I think this art style is probably loud and garish enough that the EGA version is just too much in terms of how loud it makes all the colors. Like, the VGA version is quite enough as it is. But yeah, you can see they changed a lot and added a lot more stuff and reloaded and kind of relocated the bathroom to this screen in Wet Dreams Don't Dry. And I will, this time I'm going to remember to, you know, switch back to my game. Alright, so we got the remote control from this guy. And now we go here to the bathroom. Grab an extra copy of the Ball Street Journal, settle in to sit and think. And then we get up, carefully finish your duties. You wipe and toss the newspaper behind the toilet for the next user. Look in the sink. Why, look, someone removed her diamond ring to wash her hands and forgot to take it with her. Got it. You briefly consider an attempt to find the ring's owner, but return to your normal self and pocket it instead. We, of course, quickly wash our hands and realize there are no paper towels. Oh well. Got to look at the graffiti on the wall. Lefty's restroom wall is filled with clever reading material, enough for you to read for a long, long time. Scot me up, Beamy. Attention arcade game players, please don't eat the urinal cakes. It takes leather balls to play rugby. And here's an interesting one. The password is Ken sent me. You decide to write it down and take it with you wherever you go. A guy never knows when a good password will come in handy. And it's actually an inventory item in this game. And of course, if we flush... Whoops. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Here. We want to flush. Realizing your mistake, you quickly jiggle the handle, attempting to stem the onrushing tide of water. It doesn't work, and we die. Everything is much more well-animated and goofy and cartoonish in this game. I do appreciate that about this version. Your life passes before your eyes. You doze briefly. And you're dead. Sometimes good manners are a bad idea, eh, Larry? And, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and show you the timed event here in the morning. It actually occurs at, I believe, 7 o'clock? 6 o'clock? Oh. Lefty's doesn't close in this version either. Oh no, what's that? In the east, it's the sun. Glancing at your watch, you realize the terrible truth. Your night in Las Wages is over, and technically speaking, you're still a virgin. He does this little meh animation. And then life is no longer worth living. Larry cakes anyone. That's the death in this one. It's a bit more tame. There's no gun to the head. Yeah, no, he doesn't do that. He doesn't blow his brains out. Not in this one. So, Oh, geez, something dying there. Hey, dork, you got toilet paper stuck to your shoe. You nonchalantly scrape it off. Stick your finger in the coin return slot, hoping to find some change. You don't. I think it actually gives you a music list. You slip a buck into the jukebox and search for a suitably sleazy selection. Eh. Alright. Is that what happens if you just don't select anything? It's just static? Oh, I guess so, huh? You rap loudly on the Naugahyde door. What's the password? And the password is actually an inventory object in this game, so... Passwords. Ken sent me, you whisper through an open peephole. Come on in. And here we are in the back room. And you thought that moose head over Lefty's bar was stuffed. Ha ha ha. You can tell by his glazed stare, he's no rocket scientist. And let's look at this room in the different versions. Changed a lot. You can see what I mean about the colors being very loud in the EGA version. By the time of Wet Dreams Don't Dry, Lefty has converted it into a laundry room / brewery. But and the pimp still looks very similar in Larry Reloaded. We'll go back here. All right. Get ready. Here we go. You aim the remote control at the pimp's TV and click the power switch. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Oh, John, oh, Marcia. Another boring soap opera. The pimp seems vaguely interested in the program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. Hello, friend. This is your old buddy Tom Bidet for Motel 69. If you're driving down the highway of life toward old lost wages and Mr. Sleepy sitting up at your dashboard, throwing dust in your eyes. Another boring commercial. The pimp seems vaguely interested in this program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. And now, Aloha Productions is proud to present The Revenge of the Software Developers in full color and stereo sound. Another boring musical comedy. Why is it? It's playing the Larry 3 theme. The pimp seems vaguely interested in this program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. Well, Jim is fighting for his life with a raging female rhinoceros, and I'll slip into my tent with a native girl in this picture of my ties. Another boring documentary. The pimp seems vaguely interested in this program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. It's a beautiful day in the neighbor... No, anything but that. The pimp seems vaguely interested in this program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. Live from Malaga, California, it's the Cable Sports Network presentation of the miniature female mud wrestler's 500-kilometer cross-country nude bicycle race. Another boring cable sports show. The pimp seems vaguely interested in this program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. And next, Masterpiece Theater presents a special 3D broadcast of Naugahyde Goddesses of Oakhurst. Another boring educational show. The pimp seems vaguely interested in the program, but not interested enough to leave his post guarding the stairs. You aim your remote control at the TV and click the channel selector. Oh, baby, yeah. Yeah, I love it when you do that. Ooh, that hurts so good. Pull it out a little deeper. And there we go. Well, Larry, it appears you finally reached the pimp's cultural level. Hey, dude, out of the way. Alright. Well. Now we go up here. And here we are. In this room. Alright, last comparison shot. There is the upstairs bedroom across the year, throughout the years. Obviously, it's very bright. It's an assault on the eyes in the EGA version in the middle there. That's kind of what I mean about this game being so garish and loud that it's just too much there. By the time of Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry, there is a woman here who does a cam show. Because you're in 2018 instead of 1987. So it's, it's like keeping up with the times, I guess. So that's kind of funny. Alright. Here we go. Alright. And here she is again. Doing that gum. Look out, it's the jaws of life. Oh, is that all you came here to do, honey? Look. Well, not much to do here. Not yet. Alright, we got the candy. Climb out the window. And you'll notice a lot of the writing in this game is similar. They didn't change a ton. Sexy. I don't know if that character's supposed to come across as sexy. I don't know if that's their intention. There may be something in the east window, but from here you're not sure. Perhaps a joke that didn't age well. Whoop. Hey, where are you? After a careful analysis of your surroundings, you conclude you're at the bottom of a pile of garbage. Yuck. Amid distorted, odoriferous refuse from Lefty's clientele, you discover Lefty's old left-handed hammer lying in the bottom of the dumpster covered with trash. Digging past innumerable limp celery stalks from this morning's Bloody Marys, you find Lefty's hammer, wipe it off as much as you can, and stuff it into your pants pocket. Does this have the Sierra Easter egg? Why... Yeah, it has a version of the Sierra Easter egg, yeah. Let's go down here and see how that works out. Oh, that's not the right one. Larry, the traffic here is really killer. You should forget about crossing these streets. Well, let's see. We'll find one. Let's go over here. Here is the thug in the alley. A sense of foreboding washes over your heart when your eyes slowly examine this dark alley that seems to be just outside every public area in Lost Wages. Is that just another kindly citizen or a vicious mugger quickly approaching you? It appears he wants something. You, quick, get out of here, Larry. I love that he walks off, like, in his little, like, fighting pose. Larry, when are you gonna learn to stay out of these dark alleys? Yeah, kind of is Bebop and Rocksteady. That guy. Hey, guy, you screwed up again. Dump this one down the tubes and get him another body. So here we have a much weirder Sierra factory. Got some guys working down here at computers, creating, I don't know, women. Larry gets thrown in the blender. And then, I don't know. He gets Westworlded. This is the Westworld crossover right here. Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? So he goes back up there. Now you know what we have to go through every time you press restart. And as with the previous version, it starts you literally is like hitting restart. So, and I should mention the score. It's over here. It's kind of out of the way in the settings window. You whistle loudly for a taxi. And we get in the taxi, vowing to hold your breath forever. You enter this miserable excuse for public transportation. The cabbie snarls a "where to, buddy?" as he starts the meter rolling. You ask the cabbie, "Where's the action?" "Looking for action, eh? This town is really full of it. We got a disco full of foxes this time of night. Then there's a casino next to the all-night wedding chapel. And we got a lovely bar, but you've already been there. Me, I like the convenience store next to the disco, but of course that's just personal preference." We want to go to the casino. You got it, Mac. Here, we'll, just use the zipper on everything. Applejack the taxi driver. "Where to, Mac?" That'll be $10. Let's save the game first and see what happens. What are you trying to do, P-head? You're not gonna stiff me and get away with it. Step outside, deadbeat. And there's a cartoon dust cloud that looks like my two dogs playing. You'll never ride with me again. It's never a good idea to stiff a cabbie. So yeah, that's the death scene there. And we pay the man. Get out. You're glad to get out of here. And where's Apple Guy? Where's Jack? Where's Apple Jack? Is he gonna come sell me this freaking apple or what? Let's see. The sign above the door says casino in large uneven letters. You know, part of my issue with the Reloaded remake, I don't have a comparison shot to show you here, but there are things that they do in that game to really lean into sort of the grosser qualities of this game. Like the casino is called Caesar's Phallus, right? Instead of just being casino. So it's a lot grimier, that game, than this was, right? And I don't know, it lends it a weird air of, I don't know. Your breath smells like floor sweepings from a rendering plant. And of course, everybody makes fun of your breath as you walk by. Why, it appears some sort of card is lying in the ashtray. Of course, we get the card. And it's the disco pass. Nope, and here's the dancing girls. But we want the comedian. Evidently he thinks he's funny. Alright, we sit down. My best sexual encounter was in the South Sea Islands. I pushed a volcano into a virgin. That's the same joke he told, when we went through here the other version. At least the comics whoopee cushion doesn't smell. What are you waiting for, folks? This is the A stuff. Ha ha. Okay, I got my point for sitting in the chair. I'm out of here. My son just got kicked out of his co-ed college boarding house. He got caught spreading rumors. Oh, please let me leave. Who would direct and star in your Leisure Suit Larry movie? That is something that they actually talked about doing off and on back when this series was big, but it never got off the ground. I think it was Josh Mandel who said that he'd always imagined John Lovitz in the role. I will tell you that at the time, when I was a kid, when these games, you know, like early 90s, when I would be like, oh, they should make a Larry movie, who would play him? The person I always had in mind to star as Larry was Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd is always who I envisioned as, like, who would be a live-action Larry? He always seemed like kind of just awkward and dumb enough, you know, at the time that would work. Alright, where's Apple Man? Come sell me an apple, Apple Man. Why are you... Oh, there we are. Apples, apples for sale. Hello, sir, says the skinny young man in the barrel. Would you help out a poor unfortunate by purchasing an apple? The price is reasonable, only $10. Yeah, it was $1 in the other game. Freaking 1,000%, like, freaking inflation on apples since the last game. Jesus Christ. He's yet another poor soul who donated his everything to the shrine, so the Shrine of Lost Wages could continue to flourish. We pay the man, and thank you, sir, says the skinny young man in the barrel, for helping out a poor unfortunate by purchasing an apple at a reasonable $10. Please call again whenever you're in the neighborhood, says the man, and with that he walks away into the night. Yeah, the apple tax, apparently. Jesus. So now, got that. And once again, you slip in your money, all your money in the slot machine, settle in for a few relaxing minutes with your one-armed bandit. Once again, you can just play, you know, slots. Or you can play blackjack. This is the VGA remake, yes. You insert your $58 into the machine and brace yourself for an invigorating round of electronic blackjack. So it's electronic this time. It's, you know... It's not a table, it's video blackjack. Boo. And anyway, I will skip this part. And, now I have, we'll look here. I have enough money, $396. I don't know what the upper limit is in this game. It doesn't stop you at 250. You can keep going quite a while. Save after every win. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's always how you do these mini games, is save after every win. Excuse me. Now we call for a taxi. And thank you for the subscription, Timmy Time Bomb. And this time we want to go to a convenience store. Let's see how racist the jokes are this time. Oh. Oh, you know what? Let me see, where is it? I think I have something else to show you real quick. Yeah, I do. Okay, check this out. Look at that. It's, this is a little ad a blow-in flyer for this game that came with other Sierra games. It was in the box, right? Yeah, just a fun thing here. Alright, anyway. Pay this guy and leave. And then pick up the phone. Oh wait, actually, hold on. We want to look at it first, because I think that gives you points, right? Yeah, there's some numbers scribbled on the side of the telephone. The only thing legible and printable is 5556969. All right. 5556969. A sensuous female voice answers the telephone after the third ring. Hello, welcome to the National Quickie Sex Survey Hotline. Please answer the following questions. I may have something wonderful waiting for you. First, a few questions about you. What is your name? My name is Larry. Larry Laffer, you respond. What is your quest? Oh, she sighs. What a sweet name. Tell me, Larry, what is the best part of your body? Probably, my liver. Yeah. What version of Leisure Suit Larry is this? This is the VGA version. This is the 256 color version from 1991. Oh, I still love a man with a manly yet urbane liver. Yep, there was a 91. Yep, they remade a VGA 1991 re-release. They did that for the first game in all their series. There was a remade King's Quest 1, Space Quest 1, Larry 1, Police Quest 1, Quest for Glory 1, Mixed Up Mother Goose, Hoyle 1. They remade a ton of their games. Larry, what is your favorite X-rated video? There. Friday the 13th, Part 7, unrated. They did have to cut a lot of scenes from that. Mine too, she says knowingly. I just love that part with the two women. There is a part... Oh, wait, it's not two women. There is a part where... Oh, I think it's two women in the parody scene in Jason X where he smashes... two women into the tree in the sleeping bag, but the sleeping bag death comes from Part 7. Friday the 13th. Fun horror movie knowledge. Now tell me your favorite article of clothing. This guy, it's got to be a fedora. I can just picture you in it too. Now a few questions about your favorite lover. Larry, what is your favorite sex partner's first name? Laura Bowe. That's a Sierra inside joke for you. Did Friday the 13th Part 7 also have the smiley face on the tree when the guy gets slammed into it? No, that's Part 6. That's Friday the 13th Part 6. What's the best part of Laura Bowe's anatomy? Her, her detective notebook. There. What is Laura Bowe's sexiest article of clothing? She's, you know, 1920s person, so her close hat. What's Laura Bowe's favorite object? Murder weapons. And where do you two most enjoy making love? At the murder house. Yeah, me too. And finally, what do you and Laura Bowe like to do when you're together? There, solve mysteries and rewrite history. There we go. Thanks for participating. Your prize is Looks like they hung up on you. Oh, well, it was probably a bummer prize anyway. We get out of here. And walk into the convenience store. Alright, let's see. You're at a 24-hour convenience store. There's a magazine rack near the front with a sign reading, "This is no..." They even made the library joke worse. They misspelled library this time as well. "This is no library, no reading," except for the clerk standing behind the counter. The store appears to be deserted. A small sign graces the counter. The sign reads, "Rubbers for sale, just ask clerk." Oh, and they even changed prophylactic. Ugh. This is what I mean about it being more racist. Right? Like I said, this game was released right at the end of the Gulf War. Right? So, of course they're making Saddam Hussein jokes. Right? What law says the convenience store clerks must be non-English speaking? Oh ha! What a funny joke. What a great... That's hilarious, yeah. So, like I said, the convenience store is way more racist than it was in the original. Somehow they made it worse. So, there are many magazines on the rack, but your eyes immediately go to the ones with the naked girls on the cover. Suiting your discriminating taste, you select the current issue of Jugs. And, well, it looks like this month's issue is filled with intelligent literary articles laden with redeeming social value. For example, here's an article about how professional window washers secure themselves to the sides of tall buildings with a rope tied around their waist. Nah, who wants to read that crap? You quickly flip through the pages until you discover, whoa, nice centerfold this month. So yeah, I told you guys, it got even more racist. Well, I wasn't kidding, was I? You grab a lovely cardboard box of fine wine. You wonder how they can make a profit on this stuff, selling it for only $1 a gallon. Let's see what happens when he kills us. "Stuff, thief!" cries the clerk. "Where, you wonder?" The clerk does not take kindly to your shoplifting. His magnum makes a permanent impression on you and in you. Hey. And then I believe you click the zipper on him to ask for condoms, right? Yeah. After looking around to make certain you're alone, you quietly ask the clerk if he has any protection available. Sure, we got rubbers. Obviously, you've hit his area of expertise. What letter do you want? Texture. Color. Surface. Pattern. Flavor. Weight. Thickness. Protection. Size. Okie dokie. So... he asks you a lot more questions this time. "Hey everybody, this weirdo just bought a heavyweight industrial gauge spearmint flavored plaid rough cut plain ribbed latex spermatidal small size rubber." What a pervert! I mean, I guess that's kind of a funny joke as far as like, you know, people like young people being nervous to go buy condoms in a store or whatever. But it's so undercut by just how awful everything else surrounding this store is. He hands you the package saying, altogether that will be $18. Please. You give him the money with a pleasant, "Thanks a lot, Saddam." So yeah. Have a nice day. Great, thanks. So yeah, pretty bad. "Hey, mister," yells the clerk. "I hope you enjoy your heavyweight industrial gauge spearmint flavored plaid rough cut plain ribbed latex spermatidal small size rubber." And then we answer the phone. You pick up the telephone and hear a familiar voice. "Hello, Larry. This is Laura Bowe. I was just sitting here in the murder house wearing your fedora and thinking about you, if you know what I mean. Why don't you forget about this silly game and come over to my place? I'll slip into my close hat and we'll curl up in front of the fireplace, and I'll stick in our copy of Friday the 13th Part 7, unrated. You know your liver's always turned me on, so bring along a murder weapon and come play with my detective notepad. That actually sounds like some weird Lorbo perversion. Pretty soon we'll both get excited and we'll solve mysteries and rewrite history like we always do. Oh God, bye Larry, see you soon. That went well enough. Your mouth tastes like... I love that is the moment that it decides to give me the breath spray message. Your mouth tastes like drippings from a marathon runner's sock. Great. That's a screenshot right there. That's the perfect time. You hang up the telephone and wipe the sweat from your hands. Now, here, let's save the game. And real quick, while I've got it, you whistle loudly for a taxi. Let's get in the taxi with the wine. See what happens. The driver looks at you and says, "Hey, what's that you got in your coat there? Is that wine?" Before you can move, the cabbie grabs your precious box of wine and guzzles us all down. Oh my God, Larry, hang on. Brace yourself, Larry. He's swerving all over the road. It seems a bridge abutment has brought your evening in lost wages to a sudden, final, and complete halt. Remember, Larry, friends don't let cabbies drive drunk. Alright, so there's that. And now, we can dial Sierra once again. 9683. Their number has changed. It's actually the number that it's the same number that's printed on the manual that came with the game. But you call their support line. And hello, pleasant voice response, Sierra Online. We're not open at night, but if you'd call during business hours and stop using this pretend telephone, we would be happy to sell you a copy of any of Al Lowe's other games. We also have many lines of good games you should consider. Just dial Sierra's order desk at 800-326-6654. International customers call 209-683-4468. At the same time, be sure to inquire about our full line of Leisure Suit Larry novelty items. Thank you for calling Sierra Online and for your purchase of Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Leisure Suit Larry in the Land of the Lounge Lizards. Goodbye. Such blatant commercialism turns you on. You make a mental note to purchase one of those great Al Lowe games. So there's that. Novelty items, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they mean by that. I know there was a Leisure Suit Larry 1 shirt. I showed that off earlier when the original game came out. And there was a Leisure Suit Larry 2 beach towel. But I don't know if they would have still stocked that at the time that, that this came out. Now, where the heck... Where's this drunk? Here, look at that. It's the disco. The bouncer's physically well developed, but you feel sure he's not as wise as you are in the ways of women. You're outside a flashy disco with an unhappy bouncer. I gotta give the wine to this guy. Where you at? Where you at, wino? I have wine for you. Oh my God. You're assuming they ever sold a single Larry towel. Yeah, that's true. I wish I had bought one. I wish I had those. I wish I had that now. I have a Legend of Zelda towel. That from the 80s, from when Legend of Zelda came out, the original game. It's basically unused. It's somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I still got it. Got any spare change, buddy? No, I sure got this wine, though. I ain't got no remote control, but say, I'll tell you what, here's my trusty old pocket knife. You never know, there's some kinky girls in this town. Sexy hunks like us might have to defend ourselves sometime. With that, he stumbles off into the darkness. Oh, I'm sure eBay value has inflated for those. Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely, 100%. Those weird bits of merchandise. Yeah. And now we show him the disco pass. Here you go, little buddy. You tell the bouncer, I'll just go in now, okay? Oh, good evening, sir. I'm so sorry I didn't recognize you sooner. Please come right in. And here we are in the disco. We'll go have a seat. Smile at the girl and say, may I join you? And of course she replies, why am I coming apart? And here is the new fawn. Her mind is stuck in the present. A long and lovely neck perfectly fills the distance between her head and her shoulders. What an, oh my god, that's where you have to click to get the generic message. What a knockout. She has bright blue eyes and a dazzling smile. Your eyes roam her body, and what you see like. She's sensational. Larry, this must be love. Hiya, baby. What say you and me get it on? Get lost, creep. Hey, sweetheart, what's your sign, you ask her. Octagonal, she replies, like in stop. She's so photorealistic compared to Goofy Larry. Like, all the women in the games are, though. That's how they present them, usually. In all the games. So, I think it's intentional. That weird disparity. My name's Larry, you offer. Larry Laugher. Say, Larry, she chuckles, glancing downward. Is that a Pez dispenser in your pocket, or are you just lonely? What's your name, beautiful? You ask. Fawn, she replies. Somehow you knew that. Possibly because you played the original game. I'd really like to get to know you better, you say. What kind of girl are you, anyway? That's like going up to somebody and being like, hey, we should go get to know each other. What the hell is wrong with you? She smiles and says, I'm just a girl who can't say no. All right, Larry, this is what you've been waiting for. 10 nice presents, she concludes. Oops. So, you give her the rose. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love roses. You give her the candy. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love candy with a capital C. And you give her diamond ring. And you're so sweet. I just love diamonds. So, Fawn, have I given you enough presents that you would dance with me? But of course, Larry, Fawn replies. You should have asked sooner. And she yells at you about your breath, of course. Get ready for some boogieing. Give her that hammer. Like, I really love you. Here's a hammer. Here, I have this condom. Maybe I should hold on to that. That's this password I wrote down from the wall of a bar bathroom stall. It gets you into a room where a giant man asks you for money to see another woman. Yeah, this is Beethoven, isn't it? It's rockin'. Disco, baby. Look, at this point, she's just sitting here watching it, being like, are you stupid? I'm sitting back down. Yeah. The VGA version has a better dance sequence, for sure. I mean, they do a lot more funny stuff with the animations in this game. Oh, you're so sweet. I just love you, Larry. I want to make you to make wild, passionate love to me. All right, Larry, at last you're going to get lucky. She continues, but first we must get married. I can never make love to a man unless he's my husband. If you would loan me $200, I'd rent the honeymoon suite at the casino hotel for us. Then after we're married, we'll celebrate there. Then you give her money. You're so sweet. I just love money. Thanks, Larry. You won't regret this. Meet me at the marriage chapel near the casino in a few minutes. I'll get a room. Hurry, Larry. I can hardly wait. Kind of a weird walk animation there. And now we head out here. Everybody I walk by yells at me about my breath, but, you know, I don't care. I'm getting married. I'm gonna impress you. Just goes dead, dude. Alright, and now we go to the chapel. Boob physics make walking hard. Yeah, this is no Dead or Alive. Here, I'll just give him some money. Why don't you just wait till we get there, buddy? Alright, $13. We get out. And once again, we walk over to this guy who, again, like, yells at us about our breath, even though he's doing his thing here. Oh, it's two guys. It's two of them. It's two kids. Are those supposed to be kids? I hope not. Those are two midgets in a trench coat trying to get a bank loan. Say, you asked them, by any chance are either of you two named Shorty? Wait, it's not a guy in a trench coat. It's two midgets in a trench coat, and they have nothing to hide. What a town. Your heart fills with eager anticipation as you see your lovely bride, Fawn, waiting for you at the end of the aisle. You've always been a sucker for beautiful weddings, and you feel sure that this will be your most special wedding of all. Oh my god, how many times has he been married? I think it's 0. Dearly beloved, we are gathered together today in the sight of each other to enter these two people into the eternal bonds of marriage. But before we really get rolling, I'd like to say a few words. Many of the marriage that I performed here in this little chapel wearing this cheap suit before these shiny plastic-covered pews with these electric candles looking at those genuine plexiglass, stained glass windows for these measly few bucks. He pauses for another nip from his pocket flask. Where was I, he hiccups? Digressing, you answer. Oh well, have you got a ring, he asks. Yep, you reply, she's wearing it. Good enough for me, have you got $100? Of course, you reply, forking over some of your hard-won dough. Okay, now where were we? So let's see here. Let me skip some of this. Oh well, let's cut to the chase. I now pronounce you man and wife till death do you part, or until you get tired of each other per the currently acceptable social standards. You may kiss the bride, says the preacher. Oh boy, you think. And with that, he disappears behind the altar to refill his flask. Not now, says Fawn. That kissing stuff can wait. I've got much better things in mind for us, Larry. I'll go to our room right now and get everything ready for our big night, says Fawn knowingly. You meet me at the Casino Hotel's honeymoon suite as soon as you can, and I'll give you much more than kisses, my passionate polyester peacock. Okay. Hey, you shall wait for me. Whoops. And that was the message about the bonds of marriage being pretty loose. I skipped it, sorry. Hey, where'd she go, you think? Now, once again, up to the, yeah, no kissing. We're just gonna do hand-holding, that's it. Yeah. And up to the 4th floor. Ooh, you're dizzy. Alright. You lightly wrap your knuckles on the door. Fawn's delicate voice booms out across the hotel. Just a minute, Larry. There's a click as she unlocks the door, and then a piercing, come on in, the door's open. Suddenly you shout, here I come, baby. Thank you for the follow, Gray Facts. Gray Fakes. Oh, Larry, oozes Fawn. I've been waiting patiently right here on the bed just for you. She doesn't appear to be in the mood yet, Larry. I think the least a gentleman would do is buy a lady a bottle of wine. And of course, turn on the radio. Sounds like a nice mellow station. The tuning knob on the radio is stuck. Looks like you're stuck with the easy listening station. wait, and the jingle will come on. The radio interrupts the lovely Frank Sinatra medley with an obnoxious singing commercial. We about to say, we deliver across the USA. You're out of luck if you want to dine, but if you just need booze, dial 555-58039. Yeah. And now back to our music. Oh, Gray Fox. Okay. Got it. And here we are in the casino again. 53 bucks in cash. Not sure if that's actually enough, but we've got our second gambling skip with $168. Here we go. Gray Fox, hey, you're that ninja. And we head back to the store. Get some wine. Oh, Kyosho, I'll definitely play Gabriel Knight. Yeah, I will. I'm doing this in release order. So next week's gonna be Police Quest 1. But I definitely plan to get to Gabriel Knight. It's also my personal favorite. Gabriel Knight 1 is amazing. Here we are, $17. Order some wine. Ajax Liquor Store, we deliver. I'd like to purchase some fine wine, you say? Hey, you called the right guy. He says words you wanted delivered. To the casino's hotel's honeymoon suite, you respond and step on it. Okay, consider it done. I'll send one of my hottest young men. Hey, thanks for calling. With that, he hangs up. What do you mean, hottest? You whistle loudly for a taxi, and back to the casino. You know, one of the things about this, this is actually a deceptively small game. This game, when you look at some of Sierra's other games, I did kind of a loose tally. King's Quest 1 has about 77 screens. King's Quest 2 has about 91. King's Quest 3 has about 71. Black Cauldron has about 63. Space Quest 1 has about 59. And Larry 1 has about 37 screens. So it's very, very small. And I mean, it's a remake, of course, of Softporn Adventure, but there's not really a lot to it in terms of just different locations and places to visit. But they pack a lot into it. And you know what? I believe this phone's broken. The casino softly cries at courtesy telephone here in the lobby. Someone thought Lefty filled its coin slot with chewing gum, rendering it unusable. Okay, yeah, that's why we go to the convenience store. Wrap your knuckles on the door. Fawn's sexy voice oozes through the door. Oh, baby, it's you. You're back. There's a click as she unlocks the door, and come on in, you wonderful hunk. You can't wait. Suddenly you shout, once again, here I come, baby. Just every time he comes through the door, he's like, here I come, baby. Oh, Larry, it's you, Fawn says. I thought it was that cute young delivery boy again. What does she mean by that? Oh, well, you decided to let it pass. After all, this is your wedding night. Oh, Joshua, did you not see the original version of it? I played through the AGI version of the game already, so... is this a surprise to you? What's happening? You carefully remove the bottle from the ice bucket, unscrew the cap, and pour 2 glasses. She downs her glass immediately. You refill it, and she does it again. Her eyes meet yours, and you're sure luck is with you this time. And I will give you a hint. I have 111 of 222 points. So, oh, that feels nice, size Fawn. You presume a little foreplay never hurts. She says, lie down, Larry. I have a special little surprise for you. Then she says, close your eyes. And you do because you're sure that finally success is at hand. Were there any other Sierra games other than this remake that was released on iOS? I don't think so. Oh, baby, that feels so good, he says. Oh. Say, Fawn, when are you going to get undressed? Hey, what are you doing with a ribbon? Oh, I see. We're going to get kinky our first time. When Fawn has you securely tied to the bed, she leaps from the bed, grabs your wallet, and says, you forgot to pay me for the wine. It came to $126, including the tip, which is however much money you have in your wallet at the time. Wait, Fawn, you shall come back. This is our wedding night. So long, sucker. Fawn, come back, you shout. This isn't funny. Does it count if a guy consummates by himself? Larry, it seems the honeymoon's over. The ribbon, but when you see the bed, when you walk in, it's a ribbon. So they just change it just for, I don't know, just aesthetic purposes. It serves the same purpose, but there's a nice design purpose to having the ribbon there. That's alright. But yeah, anything you do try to do, you know, you can't do anything because you have to use the knife to get out of this. Using the pocket knife you got from the old bum by the convenience store, you saw through the ribbon holding you to the bed. He sure is deft with that. For a guy who's usually an idiot. You grab your wallet and look inside. Oh well, at least you didn't find that $10 you hid in the secret compartment. With your consummate gambling skills, you should be back on your feet in no time. We grab the ribbon. Good idea. You never know when a nice piece of ribbon will come in handy. Close the door behind you and jiggle the knob to confirm it is locked. And again, we head on down to the lobby. Over here down to the blackjack. You have to do some gambling. Let's see, let's try. You see your $10 in the machine. Brace yourself for an invigorating round of electronic blackjack. Alright, we're gonna do this. Ugh. Ah, you busted. The dealer wins. You pocket your $0 from the tray in which you had won more. Oh no, you're now penniless. You hawk your leisure suit only to spend the rest of your life wandering from town to town, wondering about what might have been. The rest of your story is simply too sad to tell. Larry, time for a little R&R. Restart or restore. And we will go to the third gambling skip that I have here, where I have $1,200 in cash. Yeah, I don't know if there's a limit on what you can, on how much you can earn. Huh. Oh, there's no funny messages for each individual gambler. Oh well. Alright. Now we call a taxi, and it's back off to Lefty's bar. There's a $250 limit in the original game. It will never let you have more than that. But in this game, there's yeah, I don't know what the limit is. Yeah, I played through that original version before this in the video here. So I've been doing both versions today, along with lots and lots of trivia before I start playing. So if you missed it, I encourage you to go back and rewatch. All right. Knock on the door. Geez, everybody's just complaining about his breath, man. Alright. Get inside here. Go up here. Get undressed. Save the game so we can see some funny deaths. They did keep the suicide. There's not like a custom animation for it though. Let's see, what do we... No, I can't. Let's see. Another funny bouncing censored bar. Aha. This goes on for far too long. Yeah, we're doing hand holding, that's right. Yep. I'm holding hands underneath that black bar. Alright, now, because we're just going down to die. Because we did not use protection. Now everything explodes, and it's terrible. Suddenly you have a warm feeling in the front of your pants. It appears the hurry gave you a little more than you bargained for. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. You're no Trojan, Larry. While life may be possible to you, it is no longer worth living. Mr. Happy says condom sense is best. There's a screenshot right there. Alright. But now, we use the condom. This would be a perfect time. Your Surgeon General is proud. Hi. You guys hear my dogs in the background? They're freaking out, man. Although successful, you feel less than satisfied. Technically speaking, you're no longer a virgin, but for some reason the thrill just wasn't there. You vow to continue your quest until you please your heart, not just your other organs. It's a good thing you were wearing your raincoat. Alright. I think my dogs hear a siren or something. Jeez. Alright, and now here's the other funny, death here. Stop, pervert, shouts the cops. I wonder who he's yelling at, you think? Look at this guy. Caught, you pervert, the cop shouts. We don't like people exposing themselves around this town, especially wearing one of those. Glancing down, you realize what he's talking about. Your face flushes. Next time, if you insist on wearing your rubber in public, you might at least zip your fly. So there's that. Oh, you carefully remove your rubber and dispose of it in a way that will not be described here. Alright. Yeah, that dude he just body checks you, right? He's like, halt, pervert! You're going to prison. Alright, you carefully tie the ribbon from your nuptial bed around your waist. He looks so proud of himself. You carefully tie the ribbon from your nuptial bed around the railing. With the coy pink ribbon rather insecurely holding you to the railing, you can reach all the way over to the window. Now, of all times, you notice the window's locked. Of course, we cannot get through any Sierra game without committing a crime, so suddenly you smash the window with your left-handed hammer in your right hand. Your fears were unfounded. It seems to work either way. Your future as a second-story man now seems quite plausible. And you got him, but what in the heck are they? You're glad to be back to the relative safety of the fire escape. And we fall. And you're still on the bottom of a pile of garbage, just like the first time. And, of course, the pills are... Even though a portion of the label is missing, you can still make out the letters niche and fl. So it's Spanish fly once again. Not a joke that is aged well. Here, let's see if I can give these to him. That'd be funny. Hey, thanks, he cries. One of those, and I'll be stuck in 5th gear all night. Good idea, Larry. After all you had to go through to get those pills. Oh, you just give them to him and they're gone. Okay, well, that's bad. How about if I take them? Leave yourself alone, Larry? Okay. Oh, I need to tell him where I want to go. I want to go to the casino. Man, my lips are chapped. It's driving me crazy. All right. Alright, and now, let's see what happens. Let's see the funny death message when we give Larry the pills. Without thinking, you swallow the entire bottle of pills. Say this stuff is okay, you think, but wait. Soon your breathing becomes heavy. Soon you become horny. Soon you must have relief. You've got to do something, and now you wonder about the location of that cute little dog you met outside. Following your conviction for bestiality, you spend the rest of your life in prison, turning big rocks into little ones. You've always loved animals. Ugh, it's gross. I mean, the fact that he does something stupid and dies because of doing it, it's okay, sure. But I'm just like, oh, the poor dog, you know? Alright. Oh, the dogs. Oh, yo, you hear him barking, being like, yeah, that idiot. Oh, hey, by the way, I've got some new emotes coming up. I have 2 tier 1 emote spaces that have opened up over the course of me streaming and getting more subs. But there's going to be a couple more Pickle and Bosco emotes. I've got Pickle doing like a head tilt, and Bosco wrapped up in a towel after a bath. They're both very cute. And then I've got a tier 3 subscriber emote for of the Sierra Half Dome logo for anybody who wants to sub at $25. All right. Here is the security guard, Faith. Wow, bad breath's one thing, mister, but you could knock a buzzard off a maneuver truck. Alright. Her lips are moist and inviting, but then you also felt that way about Mr. Bergman, your junior high school math instructor. That's a strange... how am I supposed to read that joke? I'm not sure. She's a knockout, but that pair of pistols slung around her hips brings a sense of foreboding to your guts. Hiya, baby, I think I loves ya. May I help you in some way, sir? She responds in a pleasant but businesslike voice. Because this is always how security guards dress, right? My name's Larry. Larry Laffer, you offer. Say, Larry, she says with a smile. Is that a roll of dimes in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me? Hey, sweetheart, what's your sign, you ask her. Exit, she replies. Try using it. What's your name, beautiful, you ask. Faith, she replies. Unusual name. And no, she's not a secretary. She is a security guard. She's an armed guard. I'm only in town for one night. You try again. How about we get together when you get off duty? She smiles and says, oh, I could never be unfaithful to my boyfriend. Larry seems this one's going to require outside assistance. When do you get off? You say. When I'm with someone romantic, she replies. Oh, owned so hard. Don't sit here all night, you plead. Why don't you come with me? Perhaps, she says, but right now I'm working. You're a man of the world, Larry. Perhaps some sort of medical stimulant would help. Ugh. So, of course, you have to give these to her. And Faith only gives the bottle of Spanish Fly a quick glance before saying, boy, thanks. How did you know I love this stuff? Again, don't try that at home, because it's awful. And it's awful that this is a joke in this game. She tosses back a few pills, then a few more, finally gulping down the whole bottle. Her breathing becomes faster and faster. She begins to pant, probably because she's going to go into cardiac arrest. She's really getting turned on. Looks like tonight's your lucky night, Larry. I'm out of here, cries Faith. I've got to get home to my boyfriend before this stuff wears off. Hey, thanks a lot, buddy, shouts Faith across the hotel. We'll do it once for you. Twisting her key in the lock, she disappears down the unmarked employee staircase. Sorry, Larry, it appears Faith is true to her name. Which is probably good, because that would have otherwise been pretty date-rapey. Now that you're no longer staring at Faith's ample weapons, you notice an unlabeled button on her desk. The penthouse elevator doors glide open. Where are we going now, Larry? Well, it's the penthouse suite. All right. Let's see. And now appears to be an inflatable doll. This is the flattest babe you've ever felt, Larry. Oh my god. You may want to inflate her first. Alright. You have them, you pop and you blow your doll up. And yeah, here's the doll. It looks pretty awful. Holding her out at arm's length, you pause to admire your handiwork. Geez, Larry, do we have to? Alright, you asked for it. In fact, you've asked for it twice. Here we go. Selecting your own personal favorite from the 3 available openings, you shyly try out the doll. This has got to be the kinkiest thing you've done yet, Larry. You gradually increase your tempo as you lose your inhibitions, not to mention your self-esteem. Faster and faster you go until suddenly there's a loud flatulent sound. That's a pretty awful looking doll. Yeah, that's about as close to nudity as you get. Alright. No commentary on this. Okay, nothing's weird here. Alright. Cool, cool. Let's see, a beautiful black woman relaxes in the penthouse suite's rooftop garden spa. You begin to get the feeling that your evening in Lost Wages may be successful after all. They have specifically made Eve a black woman in this game. That's a bit more forward-thinking than I would expect from this game at this time. Oh, can we not look at her towel? No? Alright, let's see. Talk to her. Hey, gorgeous, allow me to introduce myself, you say, after you break into her apartment and rummage through her stuff. Or her hotel room, rather. My name is Larry, Larry Laffer. Hello yourself, Larry, she replies. What an attractive leisure suit. I so miss them. It's refreshing to meet a man who, with so much self-confidence that he's willing to flaunt the fickle trends of fashion mores and deeply travel the road of his own secure masculinity. That's kind of a funny... That's kind of funny. Was she talking to you, Larry? Yeah, Gray Fox. I showed that off earlier in the suicide ending in when I played the previous version earlier. Well, you stutter, I've always felt that it is a look that's right for me. A man has to do what a man has to do, I always say. She smiles up at you. I agree completely. I'm so tired of men who say anything just to gain a woman's favors. Gee, you think I would never do that. To her you say with a smile, and I so love what you are wearing. She laughs, and a sense of humor. Larry, you're one special man. Why don't you slip into the water and we'll see if we can really get to know each other. Oh boy. Glancing around, you notice no changing facilities nearby. Oh, what the hell. Wasting no time, you execute your previously only pre-visualized spa hop. Landing in the warm water. Oh, does it feel good. It's nearly as stimulating as the beautiful, naked woman next to you. With the warmth of the water soaking into your body, you quickly become quite relaxed. You can picture her gentle arms widening their way around you. Wow, just the way you like your woman. Nearby and naked. She has a beautiful face and a gorgeous body. You've waited a lifetime for this moment. Even through the bubbles, her assets are outstanding. You can turn the bubbles off, but I'm not going to do that. Who loves you, baby? She says nothing, but her smile tells you bushels. Have you ever tried it underwater, you coyly ask? She doesn't say. What's your name, gorgeous, you ask? She says nothing, but her smile speaks volume. What's your sign, doll face, you ask? At last she speaks. Yield, she says simply. Although she smiles, it appears she's a woman of few words. She's waiting for you to determine what it is she wants. What a beautiful face. She's leaning back, relaxing in the spa with the water bubbling up around her. It's even possible you could become sexually aroused by this. Her hand rests near an expensive fluffy bath towel embroidered in a florid script with the name Eve. Again, that's the only hint you really get, that you give her an apple because her name's Eve, and I think it's not even really... It's reasonable that you would miss the towel here, too. That's strange. Anyway. A bit like Maliageti, yeah, from Gabriel Knight 3. How do you turn off the bubbles? You hit that switch over there. Yeah, Maliageti from Gabriel Knight, she does kind of a little bit look like her. Eve takes your apple and with a sweet innocent look raises it to her mouth. She takes a small bite, then lowers her arm as a sexy smile comes across her face. She winks, then almost imperceptibly she lies back slightly, sliding deeper into the warm water and chews delicately. Eve gently slips her sensuous tongue around and around the lucky apple. Tiny drops of the lucky apple. Tiny drops of the apple's juice glistening on her lips. She's really turning you on. You had no idea fruit could be so exciting. After a few bites of your apple, Eve slowly slides out of the hot tub, her seeming naked body glistening in the moonlight, barely covering her tremendous assets with the towel. She tosses you a towel, smiles, and motions for you to follow her. Say, Larry, smiles Eve, you really are glad to see me. Look at that strut. Climbing onto the bed like a little baby. And there it is. We've done it. Full points, baby, yeah. Perfect score. Mensa. There they are, alright. Skip all the action, of course. Congratulations, Larry, you've done it. You've successfully completed your evening and lost wages, lost your virginity, and emerged victorious. Of course, here I come, baby. Of course, your feelings of success are short-lived, since this is where Ken Williams has to tell you about all the wonderful sequels to this game that you are now required to play. Hey, Ken, come out here and give him your sales pitch. Oh, so Ken's been in the closet all this time, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Williams. Hi, folks, as CEO of a major software publisher, you might think I'm above pitching products for Lowe. Boy, would you be wrong. I don't want to be pushy, but in my humble opinion, I think you owe it to yourself to run out to your local 24-hour software store right now and grab yourself a copy of every chapter in the now seemingly never-ending saga of Larry Laffer, Lowe's lovable lounge lizard. You would really enjoy Leisure Suit Larry 2, Looking for Love in Several Wrong Places, in which you help Larry abandon his lizard-like ways and find true love on a breathtakingly beautiful tropical paradise called None Tonight Island, in spite of the efforts of the KGB and the evil Dr. Nonuki. Or you may prefer Leisure Suit Larry 3, Passionate Patty in Pursuit of the Pulsating Pectorals, in which you play part of the game as Larry, but also play as Passionate Patty, a woman that is everything Larry is not, and has everything Larry does not, too. But I really hope you select my personal favorite. Oh, my personal favorite? No, that definitely doesn't age well. The worst game in the series that Sierra made, Leisure Suit Larry 5, Passionate Patty does a little undercover work, in which Patty truly comes into her own, helping the FBI clean up the entertainment industry, while Larry must find the sexiest woman in America for his employer, that hot new syndicated television program, America's Sexiest Home Videos. You may wonder why I didn't mention Leisure Suit Larry 4, the missing floppies. Me too. The problem is we don't know where it is. You know me, if we could find it, I'd sell it. That's a story for the future, though. So if you enjoyed this game, and you must have since you got this far, give Sierra's Order Desk a call at 800-326-6654. International customers call 209-683-4468. We'll be happy to sell you any of the Leisure Suit Larry series, or even some of our good games. Well, enough about me. Now let's hear about you. And then he just leaves. Oh wait, I almost forgot to tell you how well you played. You played okay, I guess. On behalf of Al and Mark, Ken and Roberta, Oliver and Lisa, Mike and Laura, Bill and Patty, Bob and Janine, and Ted and Alice, thanks for playing, and be sure to tell each and every one of your friends to buy their own personal copy of this game. Love you, baby. So yeah, that is the end of Leisure Suit Larry 1. Oh. Yeah, that's both versions. That's the 1987 AGI version and the 1991 SCI-1 VGA 256 color version. And as you saw, they went on to make more sequels. There's Larry 2, 3. They never did make Larry 4. Larry 5. Leisure Suit Larry 6, Shape Up or Slip Out. Leisure Suit Larry 7, Love for Sale. And then the really bad Larry games that weren't real, that Sierra didn't make, which were Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude and Leisure Suit Larry Box Office Bust. Neither of which are worth playing. And last year's Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Actually, not a bad game. They sort of got the spirit of it right. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, there it is. It's over. Quick, get a life. And then that is the end of that. And there were also some other Larry spin-off titles. There was a Norton Utilities parody called The Laugher Utilities that came out in 91, which I own. It's over there in the box. There was Leisure Suit Larry's Casino, which was the last Larry game that Lowe actually made. Yeah, Larry was big. Larry is probably, in the grand scheme of things, the most, outside of King's Quest, probably the most well-known Sierra series to the general public. Yeah. Yes, I mentioned Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Yeah. It's a decent game. The remake of the remake? No, I'm not gonna play through the 2013 Leisure Suit Larry Reloaded. Yeah, Larry was big, yeah. That game, though, that came out in 2013. It came out for Windows. It came out for every, OS X. There was a Linux version. There were mobile versions. It was created by a company called Replay Games. They had a Kickstarter. They raised about $650,000. And Lowe and Josh Mandel came back to, they actually did the design. It had full voiceover. Longtime Larry voice actor Jan Rabson came back to, voice Larry in it. They rewrote a bunch of it. I think the earlier versions are better. It was composed by Austin Wintory, who he also did the music for Assassin's Creed Syndicate and the Banner Saga trilogy. So they had some good talent for for that game. I think that these versions that I just played are the better versions to play, and you can find them on Steam and GOG if you want to play through them. The other issue with Replay Games is that its CEO Paul Trow, let's just say he encountered some legal trouble involving a minor, and pled guilty to what wound up being a misdemeanor. And combined with that, plus some pay disputes with Lowe, Al just walked away from it all after Larry Reloaded, and it had nothing to do with him. After that, and they were gonna do remakes. They were gonna do more remakes, but those just got canceled and never happened. But apparently, yeah, that dude had some issues and did not hold up his end of some bargains. That, from what I understand. So yeah, I doubt we're gonna ever see Al Lowe make another Larry game. But let's see. He did make that one, and that one was pretty decent. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that's Larry 1. Not quite as scandalous, not quite as crazy and hardcore and, indecent, perhaps, as you would, its reputation would have you believe. It's some of the jokes don't age well and are just pretty bad. Some of the jokes just weren't good at the time. Okay, let's say. It's not like they didn't age well. They just weren't good jokes. All the stuff in the convenience store was just very awkward stereotypes. That's bad. Yeah, that's the game. Sierra book win? I don't know. We'll see when Boss Fight Books starts accepting submissions for 2019. Maybe I'll pitch them something. I have some ideas kicking around in my head for how I would go about it. And there are other people writing Sierra books, so they're probably going to beat me to the punch. But I have something more specific that I have an idea for Sierra. So for a book, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, that's it. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. You can, of course, find all my other Sierra Saturdays episodes on YouTube. and I'm going to keep doing these. Next week is Police Quest 1 in Pursuit of the Death Angel. I'm probably only going to do the original version because it is quite a long game. So I'm probably going to split that up into 2 and do the VGA version down the line. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, I mean, yeah, please follow me, subscribe to me if you got those Amazon Prime subs, please. That helps me out a lot. And you can also hit up my Patreon. The Patreon link is down below, and my Stream Elements tip jar. Or you can cheer me as well with bits here on Twitch, if you want to kind of support what I'm doing here. And yeah, that's about it. I've got a stream schedule up for you. When the stream goes offline, you'll kind of see what I've got planned. But yeah, next week is Police Quest, and that's a whole different can of worms. Police Quest is kind of a troubled series behind the scenes, through and through, and we'll see how that worked out for the first one. There's also an interesting story about how that game came to be. But yeah, that's the end of this stream. Thank you so much for watching this and for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.